food coloring, and the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Each and every year, the teams in North Dakota that play high school football have one dream. That dream is to be a part of the Dakota Bowl. For 8 teams in AA football, that dream is still alive, and it's the quarterfinals of the North Dakota High School Football Playoffs. And tonight we've got a doozy for you here on the PSP Network. The 7-2 Shanley Deacons on their home field come in as the number 3 seed inside of AA football. They take on the challenging 6-3, number 6 ranked Minot High Magicians here on the PSP Network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into our Shields pregame show for what should be a fun one here tonight with some high-powered offense and some of the best players in the state of North Dakota. Alongside of Dave Wilson, I'm Nick Holberg. Thanks for joining us for our Shields pregame show here tonight. Shields of Minot and Bismarck bringing you the pregame show here tonight. Shields has everything you need, from clothing to footwear to sporting goods, anything for all your passions, fishing to fashion, you name it, at Shields of Minot and Bismarck. They bring you the pregame show here tonight. We'll bring in Dave Wilson, the color commentator and the analysis and the brain behind the operation here tonight, Dave, and the X's and O's of the football game. And tonight, even a guy like me can see pretty clearly that the quarterbacks really are going to steal the show, or at least try to here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a game where the quarterback position is going to be kind of in the spotlight. I mean, with Fargo Shanley, young man, number 17 for them, Michael Rosberg. I mean, it all starts with them. And I haven't got to see him play live this year, but in the Fargo Moorhead community, there's a lot of talk about him. just recently committed to the University of St. Thomas down in the cities, becoming a Division I program, and Division I athletes in the Fargo-Moorhead area. It seems like we grow more and more of them out here now that I'm a resident. But I know from talking to some of the Shanley people, that just a good kid, honor roll student, just a great athlete, great head on his shoulders that leads a pretty potent air attack for the Deacons.
Well, that's really how they run it with the way that they spread out their offense. Only one in the backfield that's seen a whole lot of carries, and that is Leininger. When you look at Minot High, it's kind of a tale of two tapes here tonight, and the reverse story, because Ruziska's really been the guy for Minot High. And when you look at the cheat sheet here for the Magi, look at all these backs that were created in this cheat sheet for Minot High. You've got Broderick, Bachman, Ruziska, King, Junt, Burke. There's plenty of them, but Minot High has some targets as well that Jaden Sparrow will throw to here tonight, including Logan Conklin.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we were talking before we came on air is, Minot getting their playmakers the football. And, when it comes down to the playoffs and you're one and done, you can't leave anything back. So it's a truly a night to get Ruziska and Conklin, and hopefully Sparrow can make some plays with his feet. Keeping drives going for Minot. It's probably going to be pretty paramount tonight. Keeping the ball out of number 17's hands in the red, but I'm really anxious to see Minot's approach with the football, and it could be a situation, take some chances. You don't want to punt the ball back to the big red machine down there on the field tonight. So I'm anxious to see how Minot can respond and see how they can roll with the punches that Shanley's going to take at them.
How big is the linebacker position tonight for Minot High? Guys like Michael George, Max Cunningham, Brady Larson. Those guys really have to be the storyline here tonight on the defensive side.
Absolutely, and a big thing is going to be their drops into coverage when, on play action for the Deacons. And I've been around North Dakota long enough with Coach Mattern, has been around, used to coach at Fargo South and coach now with the Deacons. And, he's been around high school football, and, with his offenses, moving guys around in formations and all that. And it'll be important for Minot's linebackers, to dropping back into coverage and trying to take away some of those lanes that Rosberg has to throw the football. So a lot will come down on them too. You don't want to drop too deep into coverage if they do hand the ball off, and then then basically you're chasing an athlete in space, and that's kind of the last place you want to be on a big football field.
And a kid that's going to go to Division I, obviously that he's got the ability to run it. Got some storylines on him later in the broadcast tonight. I talked to his parents before the ball game. This kid's an athlete. He didn't start playing quarterback until a few years back. He was on the line his whole life before he took over that quarterback position, something you just don't hear of.
My goodness. No, a little bit of different position, but just, credit to him and, the athlete that he is, to be able to chuck the football around and, God, and to be able to get yourself a Division I scholarship, playing the quarterback, such a new position to the young man. Pretty impressive.
St. Thomas for the quarterback for Shanley. Minot State for the quarterback from Minot High, and a pair of kids that look to lead their teams into the promised land here tonight. Let's take a look at the AA football playoffs now and what we'll see here tonight. Another game on the PSP Network coming up tonight. Chuck Claremont and Scott Woodmansey down at Bismarck have the call of number 2 Mandan against number 7 West Fargo. The Packers and the Braves tonight. The winner of that matchup will take on the winner of this matchup between Shanley and Minot, the 6-3 matchup here. It's Cheyenne that hosts Century tonight, number 8 Century. They've really turned the tide at the end of the year. Century's won 4 straight after they had their worst start in program history. They could be a sleeper here in the playoffs. Legacy and Davies, that 4-5 matchup could be a real doozy as well. I think that when you look at what the 11 AA playoffs are in 2022, you're going to be in store for some great games, even in round number 1.
Absolutely, and like you said with Bismarck Century, Coach Wingenbach has been there since I was back in high school, and teaching. I believe he's still teaching math at Bismarck Century High School as well. Getting in the game was, a coach like him that has so much experience and has won some state championships the past several years. It's in a one and done scenario. So many different things can happen. Football is an oblong object, and it's not always going to bounce the right way for you. So, the best time of the year, before we get into the winter season in high school football, we get into the playoffs, and the leaves turn, and boy, we get into playoffs, and it just gets so exciting thinking about heading to the Fargo Dome and kind of what these kids have to look forward to the next couple of weeks.
You bring up a good point about tonight, though. Mother Nature couldn't have played any nicer here tonight. There's no rain, there's no snow on the ground. It's just a beautiful night. Got to have a hoodie and probably a beanie by the end of it, but it's just beautiful.
Well, and I feel bad because my son has soccer practice tomorrow morning, and it's in an indoor facility, so I I almost thought about wearing shorts myself tonight, Nick, but I was like, no, I took it to I figured, we pay respect to the football gods. But no, beautiful evening. The wind has settled down here in Fargo. It was a little bit windy earlier, but I mean, it's a great setting and a great complex here at Fargo Shanley, and they really do go all out with the former players and all that as you walk into the stadium. What high school should be promoting promoting the athletes that they have on their team. And I mean, it really, I'm my first time being at Sid Cichy Stadium here, and it's really just been a fantastic eye-opener for me.
Yeah, they really have a pedigree here in Fargo. They used to play in the single A ranks or the double A, depending on what era we're talking about here. But they used to play one step down away from triple A football, where they dominated for years. We'll go through that a little bit later on here tonight. But Shanley's always been a program that on this bracket would have been on this bracket and been a team that had a pretty good chance to get to the Dakota Bowl as we look at the 11 single A playoff bracket. Dickinson and Fargo South. You've got Fargo North and Valley City, Grand Forks Central of the Blue Jays from Jamestown, the defending state champion Blue Jays. And then you've got Red River and Wapaton. Do you have a favorite in 11 single A this year? This looks like it could be kind of a shake of the dice to me.
Yeah, well, I do have some friends in Wapaton. I taught there for 4 years, and they're very impressed with Fargo South. Very, very impressed with Red River as well. They were actually able to beat Jamestown in Wapaton this year, so a big win for the Huskies. But yeah, according to what I've heard, they said if they were to pick a couple, it would be Fargo South and Red River High School as the favorites in that division.
Should be a lot of fun here tonight as the single A playoffs are playing here tonight. Tomorrow, 11B playoffs continue, and more action on the PSP network tomorrow. On the top right of your screen, you see Velva, Drake, Animus, Garrison. They take on Dickinson Trinity tomorrow in a matchup against the Titans with the Aggies. I'll have the call tomorrow in Velva, North Dakota. That one in the quarterfinals of 11B football. Hillsboro Central Valley takes on Oaks in the quarters. The Beulah Miners take on Shiloh Christian. That's going to be a great ball game as well. And then number 1 Kindred takes on Central Cass. Can anybody touch Kindred here this year? That's the real question mark.
Yeah, and that's just a community that's grown so much, just south of Fargo here, just the number of athletes that they're able to produce on the hard court in basketball, in both the boys and girls basketball and also in football. But I do have relatives on a farm in Velva, North Dakota, so if I didn't give a shot to the Aggies, my mother's former high school, I would be amiss. So I got. Kindred is quite the giant in that division, but when it comes to football and it comes to Aggies football is like no else, and I know you'll have a great time calling that game tomorrow in Velva.
I was just looking at your cell phone to see if it was already ringing to make sure Mom wasn't knocking on the door yet. We'll have the pregame show tomorrow for the Velva Dickinson matchup at 1:40. Other matchups tomorrow inside of 9B playoffs in the 4 classes of North Dakota high school football. We'll see a matchup on the PSP network between New Salem Almont and Grant County Flasher. That game scheduled for 2 as well. You'll have Todd Domrys on the call with Scott Woodmansey tomorrow from New Salem, North Dakota. We've also got North Prairie that takes on West Hope, Newburgh, Glenburn in a big showdown there. Cavalier takes on Mayport CG, and number 1 Larimore Litchfield Marion takes on the Surrey Mustangs in the 9-man playoffs. Again, another crapshoot here in my mind. Is there one that stands off the paper to you there, or are you just excited to sit back and see how they do?
With a 9-man game, it's always exciting to see the different names and generations of kids that come through the different programs. And I know I read that a Broughton from West Hope Newburgh had himself a ball game, and I remember his older brother a few years back having quite a run and getting them to the state championship game where they I think it was Cavalier that they ran into, and they were a little bit undermanned in that. But it's always just kind of nice with that division just to kind of sit back and what crop of athletes is coming out, and like New Salem Almont, the Holsteins, they got the big cow out there. I mean, yeah, it's always fun. It's nice to see those small programs, and it's almost kind of like the Class B basketball tournament, with the excitement and those communities getting to the Fargo Dome. So I can never really pick a favorite in those divisions, but well, I guess we'll see how it plays out.
Hard for me not to cheer for New Salem when they bring the whole football team to the football field in a cattle trailer and have them come out from the cattle trailer, kind of the way this gets you fired up here with the American flag and the Deacons flag here for Shanley right to midfield. Well, it's our Shields pregame show for this one. The Deacons have arrived after their warm-ups. We're just about set for our official introductions here tonight. A team with plenty of pedigree in North Dakota for football to be at the Dakota Bowl. Can they do it in the AA rank? Shanley and their fans say absolutely they can. They're one of the hottest teams in North Dakota. They've been there all year long. Minot High's been in and out of the top 5 ranking in North Dakota, according to the media on the season. But the Magi, no slouch either, winning the West Region regular season crown, going 5-1 in the West. This is going to be what could be a dogfight here tonight. 2 good quarterbacks and plenty of talent on the field. When we come back, we're going to dive into our starting lineups of this one and have the official introductions here tonight, courtesy of our friend in the booth, Paul Braun, on the PA, coming up in just a moment. It's the Shields pregame show for the AA quarterfinals with Minot and Shanley here tonight.
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. I right, zoom, spider 2, Y banana. You don't like that one, okay. I right, 40 power.
No.
You don't want that one either? All right, go kick off. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
Hi, I'm Agent Simon Irv Pro with CRSF. What is CRSF? We're the Cleanup and Restoration Special Forces.
Hoorah!
We're ServPro's first responders to your property's disaster.
Admit it, you're no good at handling disaster alone.
Like when you got dumped in high school by Janet Fillmore. She married 3-time world champion yodeler Jovan Bovic. With the Janet disaster, you didn't have a team. Now, you have a team. Elite ServPro operatives, highly trained in disaster cleanup and restoration. If it's fire damage, Agent Fred Iyer. From burnt to unburnt, he does that. But oh wait, it's water. Boom, Agent Winston Otter. He's been called the human sponge. But Simon, what about mold? Agent Marlon Old. He holds the world record for fastest mold remediation. And finally, Agent Smith. He's in charge of restoring your property to its original state. So if you sprung a leak, lit your curtains on fire, or your insulation looks like week old bagels, call ServPro.
In southwestern and south central North Dakota, on any given day at any given moment, a Dakota Community Bank and Trust customer is logging in or signing on to do their online or mobile banking. We believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service in-house and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our customers anywhere, like here or here, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esvold. Find them online at ackermanesvold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esvold. Find them at ackermanesvold.com.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
First starting offensive lineup for the Minot Magicians.
Nothing like playoff football. Nothing like an East versus West playoff football matchup. Shanley's in red, Minot High's in white tonight. Nick Holberg alongside of Dave Wilson for the call here on the PSP Network. It is our Shields pregame show. Shields offers clothing, footwear, and gear for all your passions, from fishing to fashion. Find them at Minot and Bismarck. They really are fantastic for all your hunting and fishing needs, your clothing, your sporting goods. Got a hefty bill at Shields once in a while. They've got good stuff. Dave, when you look at the showdown here tonight, Minot High on the road traveling, Shanley at home, in your mind, how big really is this home field advantage come playoff time?
Honestly, looking at the schedules of both teams, it just, the number of trips that Minot's had to make to Fargo this year. I mean, playing against Davies earlier and West Fargo High School last week. I mean, I would say that not that many bus trips in the past for Minot, but now that they kind of got their legs under them a little bit and they kind of know what to expect, and as far as the day-to-day game operation, maybe not as much, but I guess it's going to depend on a very a very happy Shanley crowd. I mean, they are extremely fired up for this football game, and I showed up at 5 o'clock and the parking lot was already full, and just all sorts of energy up here in the press box for Shanley. I mean, you try to think that Minot's been in this situation before against, with some bigger crowds, but, I guess we'll see when the game gets going how big of a factor this crowd will really be into it.
Sin City Stadium here in Fargo on the south side of Fargo is loaded up tonight. Lots of red and white in the stands, and they're going to see some of the top talent in North Dakota on the gridiron here tonight. Here's a look at that, brought to you by the UPS store located on the South Broadway Marketplace Foods Plaza location. UPS store open Monday through Saturday for your convenience. It's the UPS store in Minot, proud to support North Dakota high school athletics. Well, the one that we've got circled on the paper tonight, starting quarterback here for Fargo Shanley, it's Michael Rosberg. This kid's rushed for 189 yards on the season, 5 touchdowns. Hey, that's not too shabby when you look at it. But the number that just blows your mind, 2,021 yards through the air with 4 touchdowns on the year. He's only been picked off 7 times, and he's got just about a 60% passer rating.
And the thing that really impresses me is the completions. I mean, these kids play 8, 9, games, and he's at 167 completions. So I mean, he's, you know, to be completing, you know, 16, 17, 18 balls a game, you know, per average, you know, at the high school game with the different elements that are involved in North Dakota high school football. That's the thing that impresses me most, and obviously 2,000 yards, you know, only 7 interceptions, and I mean that 60% completion percentage is pretty impressive as well. So Minot will definitely have their hands full with him.
Well, and no slouch on the other side. You've got Jaden Sparrow committed to play at Minot State University. Sparrow coming into the ball game with 1,285 yards through the air, 8 touchdowns for him. He's only been picked off 3 times, 14.9 yards per average for him, and a kid that's got a pretty good quarterback rating as well at 54%.
Right, and maybe a little bit different style of quarterback with him. You know, another good athlete, but you know, I think he's more apt to make plays with his feet versus what Rosberg is going to do. And you know, watching Jaden play this year, you know, extremely creative, and you know, throws a lot on the run and rolling out of the pocket. You know, extremely good athlete at that position as well for Minot. And you know, having a senior at that position in the playoffs is exactly where you want to be.
Talk about his run game: 43 carries on the year for 1,100 yards on the season. 4 touchdowns for him there as well. And Sparrow, the real deal. Minot High's in white. Shanley is in red tonight. We've got a full house here at Zid-Cincy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. Nick Holberg and Dave Wilson on the call here tonight. This one will have the winner move on to the state semifinals. The loser season will be done. Minot High at 5-3 overall. On the other side, it's Shanley at 7-2. Shanley won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, it's playoff time in North Dakota AA football. We are underway as this one's taken by Burke. Back at his own 10-yard line, bumbled it just a bit, gets up to just about the 17. And Minot High comes out on offense for the first time tonight. Opening kickoff tonight brought to you in part by our friends at Roger Ward Moving and Storage. They've been proudly helping the region with their moving and storage needs since 1942. You can find them online. RogerWardMovingAndStorage.com. Schedule a move or find a quote. Roger Ward Moving and Storage bringing you the opening kickoff here tonight. First drive of the ball game for the Magi, who spread it out from center of the field. They hand off to Ruziska. He's tackled in a big-time hurry. Hard to the ground. He goes, and right on top of him, Mayhus shut the door in a quick second there. No room for Ruziska.
Yeah, and Minot came out right away there with a 3 wide set, and I was thinking, boy, that maybe start by airing it out a little bit, but they tried to spread Shanley out a little bit, with a 3 wide set there, but a nice play by the interior lineman getting in and dropping Minot for about a 4-yard loss.
Well, they spread them out again. They've got Conklin over on the left side. Over here on the right side, it's Hunter Horner, and now falling back to pass. Sparrow throws it up. Conklin's got it. He's at the 20, trying to break free all the way up to the first down pylon. And Conklin showing why he's one of our talked about players each and every night. First down, Magi.
And like we talked about, Sparrow making a play with his feet there. And, in a one-on-one matchup like that, you say Sparrow, you really want to throw the ball up right there to the receiver, kind of up for grabs. But a kid like Conklin, making a great play, coming down with the ball, and really the yards after catch there, because he was about 8 yards shy of a first down, and, took the Shanley defender with him and got a big first down early for Minot.
He goes over 750 yards now on the season on his 32nd catch of the year. He's been in the end zone 7 times. Motion man is Conklin. They fake the handoff to him. They go back to Ruziska. He's got a little bit of a seam. Gain of maybe a half a yard on the play and then wrestled back to the original line of scrimmage. They're going to give him plenty here, though, Dave. And a nice gain, actually, for the Magi on that carry.
Yeah, and if Minot's able to get 3-4 yards a carry, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, they'll take that. They'll take that every day. And Ruziska made a nice move in the backfield to get around the blitzing linebacker there. Shanley in a cover 0 pretty much for the first couple plays of Minot. A lot of trust in those cornerbacks. So I wouldn't be surprised here to see Minot maybe take an opportunity deep with Conklin or maybe Horner here on the outside.
That's what they look to do. Sparrow tosses downfield, has Conklin, led him just a bit too far. Good call on the play call, Dave. And that one just had too much on it. Conklin was the intended recipient, but it's incomplete, and a third down is now the situation for the Magi.
And I think Minot had the route they wanted there too, Nick. I was watching Conklin on that short side of the field, and really a nice double move, and he got the Deacon defender, Vushari Hakeem. I'll slaughter that name tonight. We had a lot of help from the guys with Shanley with that one, but he got him to bite, just a little bit overthrown by Sparrow.
Shanley fans come to volume. You hear them here. There is a flag on the play.
Penalty on the play.
Believe we're going to have motion here on Minot, move him back 5 yards. Oh, offsides.
Well, Minot High gets a gift here. 5 yards the other direction for the Magi, and this is going to bring up now a short 3rd down and 2 here for the Magicians with the ball marked at the 37-yard line. You look at Shanley, you look at Minot High, two teams that have a lot of history and a rich tradition when it comes to being powerhouses in football. The difference in the two of them, Minot High hasn't won a state title since 1980, and Shanley's been almost a household name inside the Dakota Bowl since 1997. Shanley's been appearing in the Dakota Bowl almost regularly. 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, and 18. Would have been easier for me to list the years that they weren't to the big dance.
Right.
Not winning it every year, but they have had plenty of success. Minot High is going to be forced to punt here on the 4th down. Sun continues to set here in Fargo on just a beautiful night for high school football. Towering punt all the way to the 40. That one called for a fair catch. And grabbing it there for the Deacons was Oshak. And Oshak gives the Deacons pretty good field position here inside their own 40-yard line with a 1st down and 10 coming here for the number 3 seed out of the East region, or in the entire state for AA football, I should say, and a tri-champion at the top of the list for EDC football this year. QRF was put into play this year, the quality ratings formula. And what that is a formula that determined the playoff seeding for the postseason after the debacle that we had last year where Fargo Davies was one of the top teams in the state, but they didn't make the playoffs. First pass of the ball game here in the quarterfinals from Rosberg connects there, and it goes right to a target of Joey Ducard, his 19th catch of the year, and a 9-yard gain here for the Shanley Deacons. Well, we talk about Rosberg coming into tonight, and Rosberg is a player that from that quarterback position looks like a D1 athlete back there. They hand it off this time to Leininger. He loses a yard on the play, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And you can see right from the get-go what Shanley wants to do with the football. They got Rosberg up at the line making the call, kind of turning towards his receiver, and like, it's snap it and go. We want to score points.
Rosberg falls back to pass. He's rushed in the pocket. Minot High is going to shut the door on him. There's those linebackers we talked about. And coming up with the secondary hit was Brady Larson to put Rosberg back on his back to bring up a 4th down and 2 now here for the Deacons.
Well, here we go, Nick. Looks like Shanley's going for it here on 4th and 2. Big early play for the Minot defense.
How do you like this early on here tonight? Rosberg's trying to run forward. He gets the yards he needs for a 1st down. And a gutsy play call coming from Troy Mattern pays off as the Deacons have a 1st down, and that puts some energy into the Shanley crowd. 1st down and 10. Ball marked right at the 50-yard line. Rosberg from the shotgun looks over to his right. He had 3 targets over there. Tosses downfield, trying to go for a shot there to Hakeem, but Shuri Hakeem just a bit overthrown on the play.
And it looked like maybe a little bit miscommunication out there. Hakeem looked back after the incomplete pass, and maybe he was thinking about running a post, and it looked like Rosberg maybe kind of tried to throw an out pattern in there, kind of a deep out by the 20-yard line, but they got it, snap, put it down, and the next play, here we go.
Rosberg, quick hitter. Connecting there, the run after the initial tackle is good for Oshak. Oshak still on his feet somehow, gains an extra 20, an extra 10 on the play, I should say, from that 40-yard line where the 1st down marker was. I thought he was going to be down around that 1st down marker, and Oshak showing why he's one of the top targets in the EDC.
And a risk that Minot's going to take. They try to bring pressure there. You bring pressure, more guys from the back, and it leaves a lot more space for the wide receivers.
Well, here come the Deacons. That pass to Oshak incomplete as he threw it out to the near side. No good on the play, and it brings up a 2nd down and 10 here for Shanley. Shanley went 2-1 inside of the EDC, 7-2 overall on the year. They lost to Mandan in their most recent defeat in a matchup with the Mandan Braves, but a team that has been unbeaten here at Sid Cichy Stadium. 5-0 on the year for them. Running now, tackle to the ground. Rosberg goes down, And it will bring up a third down and a long 9 here as Rosberg only gains 1 on the play.
And so far, so good for the Minot secondary. I mean, other than the Oshak play, doing a great job staying with their man there. The line doing a little bit to get Rosberg to move his feet.
It's like a backyard football game right here for Shanley. They spread all the cousins out on the left side, the big brother on the right, but the pass is knocked down. How about that stop coming there for Minot High? Getting the big paw in the way of that was Turnbow and Aravet, it looked like, and Aravet knocked it down to force the 4th down.
Yeah, Shanley tried to set up a screen there, and, to their credit, Minot's defensive line there, they called, I'd always hear my dad talk about defensive line play on those screens where you smell a rat, and, he smelled it and was able to knock the pass down. Another big 4th down for Minot.
Minot High shows a blitz. Now it's taken here by Rosberg. Incomplete, and the Magi are going to take the ball over after a gigantic defensive effort here from the team from the West Region. Aravet and Turnbow with the paws on it, and then the incomplete pass brings up the second drive on the offensive side for Minot High.
Yeah, and really, a great job defensively there by Minot. And I was kind of wondering all week, what was Minot going to do to try to prevent Rosberg from picking them apart? And their interior linemen, if they're able to get pressure, then we can leave men back in the secondary and coverage. And Rosberg trying to pick through 6-7 men back there isn't going to be as easy versus 4 or 5.
Minot High spreads it out from the middle of the field. Ball marked right at the 30-yard line. Magi with Sparrow. The MSU commit goes off to Ruziska, and it's Tyson Ruziska that gains about 2 on the play, and Tyson dances his way forward. I have to take a moment to apologize to Tyson here. All season long, it's been challenging for me to get the first name correct. And that's because his older brother, Hunter Ruziska, was an absolute animal for the last 3 years for Minot High, not only on the football field, but the baseball field as well. And listening to the game back on my way home from West Fargo last week, I realized that the Jamestown Jimmy and Hunter Ruziska didn't have the Magi sweater on that night, but he was called a few times. Here's his little brother that is up to just about the 40-yard line, and Tyson deserving credit there as he's almost to the first down marker.
Lining her in on the tackle. 3rd and 2.
Conklin's going to go over to the left side. You've got Horner on the right side. From the left hash, 3rd down and 2 for the Magi. Ruziska in the backfield. Shanley looking to see if they could shut the Magi down on their second drive of the ball game. From the shotgun, Sparrow's going to take it. Hands off. Ruziska's going to dance. He's hauled up inside of the 40-yard line, and it will be a 4th down. Minot High is going to have to punt here.
And again, there, unfortunately for Minot, they were trying to run off tackle and just kind of right into the teeth of that Shanley run blitz.
Well, Minot High has a gamble on the table, and Sparrow didn't have a lot to go there. I thought they were going to punt it away. They were closer to the yard marker that gets them a first down than I thought, and it is a 1st down and 10 for the Magi. Big play there.
And I think you'll see a lot of that from Minot tonight. Punting the ball back to this Shanley offense. It's been so efficient and so good. It likes to run a lot of plays. If it's 4th and short, I think Minot will probably leave the punter on the sideline.
1st down and 10 now. Ball at the midfield. Handed off to Ruziska. Tyson breaks free. Little spin move at the end. He's going to pick up about 8 on the play.
And a good interior push. I mean, Shanley has had some success in stopping Minot's run, but it's been bringing linebackers up. So, maybe an opportunity here for Minot with a little play action look. Roll Sparrow out. Get those linebackers to bite and create some space for the wide receivers.
2 on the right side now that are set up here, including Conklin, who had a big 1st down play on the first drive of the ball game. This time they hand it off, and it's Junt trying to wheel and deal, but he's shut down in a hurry as Junt was gobbled up by that defensive line for Shanley, and the big boys stop and make a play there, and coming up with the credit on that one, I believe, is going to be Adam Leininger.
It's 3rd and 4.
3rd down and 4 again now for the Magi. By the way, we want to thank our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. They have over 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts. Factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. No other way to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Find them online, northern-plains.com. Sparrow on the keeper, but there is a whistle on the field and a timeout from Chauncey Hendershot before the play was snapped. We've got ourselves a ball game here tonight. Both coaches rolling the dice a bit. Just what you would expect in the Double-A quarterfinals. scoreless on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Back to Sid Cichy Stadium. You hear the Shanley fans. They are on their feet making noise. Minot High's got a short 3rd down and 4 here. For the Magi, it might be a mile. It's tossed ahead forward, out through coverage through the middle. Incomplete, no Laundry on the field, and that's going to bring up a 4th down here for the Magi.
Yeah, and a cover 0 again there for Fargo Shanley. I think if Sparrow's got maybe a little bit more time to throw the ball, maybe he can complete that. Kind of threw it up there for one of his receivers to make a play, but with the amount of bodies that Shanley brought on that play, he didn't really have much time to set his feet and make a better throw.
Minot High is going to bring out the special teams unit this time. Boots on it. That one was almost blocked as that ball's going to roll down on a Minot High bounce inside the 25-yard line. Call it the 24, and here comes Shanley's offense again.
And I'll say, Nick, we talked a little bit before the game, pre-game about this, and what a fantastic atmosphere here at Sid Cichy Stadium. I mean, getting the public address announcer before the game, and just the excitement that he brings. I mean, this is really what high school sports are all about, and the Shanley fans getting on their feet on 3rd down, and just not a single seat available at the stadium, and this is what a great experience for these high school athletes.
Well, you talked about it. I broke a sweat walking in today because of how far away we had to park to get here, and we were here in plenty of time tonight. That ball's going to be thrown out over to the far side, and guess who? It's the top target here for the Shanley offense, and it's Akeem that's going to pick up a big 8-yard gain on the play.
Larson on the tackle for the Magicians.
Well, the quarterback here for Shanley has not disappointed early on tonight. Michael Rosberg off to play at St. Thomas for Division I football. Takes a shot here down to the near side. That one incomplete. And the defensive coverage was there from Brown. He went up and knocked that ball down out of the air on the attempt, going to Connor Kraft, who's got 5 touchdowns of his own on the year.
Yeah, and Brown made a nice recovery play, but you've all the credit there goes to his interior lineman again, because if Rosberg's able to really step in and make a better throw there, he might have had Brown beat on the outside. Creates another 3rd down here for Shanley.
Early on in the ball game, 3:33 ticks away on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Nobody on the board yet. Quick hitter to the near side. Conklin's going to make the stop, but there's a big gain for Shanley, and Shanley moves and grooves there as it's Adam Leininger that took the pitch and catch and ran it up to the near sideline. The conversation I had earlier on tonight with Michael Rosberg's parents was one that put a pretty big smile on my face, talking about his commitment to play D1 football. He's going to toss it downfield. Akeem is open. He's going to take it from the 20-yard line into the house for a touchdown. And Rosberg connects just like he has done so many times this year. That's touchdown number 25 through the air. And Akeem puts it to the house for his 8th connection of the season.
And again there, Minot's defensive line did a great job getting to Rosberg, but really set up there and took a hit while he was making the throw, and the ball kind of wobbled a little bit, but the kid has the arm strength to step in there and get the ball out to his receiver in space, and 6-0 Deacons.
3:19 remains here in this opening quarter, and that was a bomb from their own 40-yard line. Through the uprights, it's good. And you look at a play like that, 60 yards through the air to Akeem. And Shanley shows why they're one of the top teams in North Dakota. I was just about to tell the story about how Mom and Dad talked about they were not athletes quite like the young man Rosberg is, and his prowess here on the east side of the state. He even played a lineman position before he rolled into that quarterback spot. You would have never guessed that because that arm is pure. So was that play as he connects with Hakeem for his 25th touchdown through the air on the year. And the Deacons lead 7-0 after the point after was good. It's high school football here on the PSP Network. BNC Bank scoreboard finally lights up, and it's Shanley on top of this one.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Well, off the ensuing kickoff, it's a punt from Shanley, and that ball's going to come to the Magi. Taking up the far sidelines, it's Kraft with the football. And Kraft is going to get over his own 20-yard line on the play. And Caden Kraft brings it up further than that. He's got more credit needed. He gets up to the 32-yard line. And Minot High looks for an offensive production that needs to maybe put some points on the board after Shanley strikes for first blood tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time for Minot to put together a drive, get the ball to their athletes in space here. I was just going to say Minot's defense has hung in there pretty well before the big throw from Rosberg, but time for their offense to get back on the field and sustain a drive.
Under center, it was Jaden Sparrow. He handed off to Ruziska, and Ruziska's collapsed on again as the Shanley defensive core comes up big. The bigs up front on that defensive line for the Deacons shut the door. Big thanks tonight to our friends at Planet Pizza. They've been proudly serving the Magic City for over 25 years with the largest laser tag playground in the region. Mouth-watering pizza and chicken wings. We had some last night during the district volleyball tournament, and let me tell you, Planet Pizza truly is out of this world. You can order now, 701-852-1700. Ruziska, the quick hitter, he's going to go up over the 35-yard line, and the stop was made just on the edge of the secondary. As coming in was Jordan Leininger to shut the door again.
Jack Holliday on the tackle for the Deacons. Gain of 4, it'll be 3rd and 6 for Minot.
3rd down and 6 for Minot again, and this is about where they've been pinned in here tonight, Dave, on their side of the 50-yard line. Credit Shanley's defense for doing their job well here tonight. 3rd down. 3 wideouts on the left side as Minot High sets up on the right hash. This is Sparrow rolling out of the pocket. He's going to run over to the far side, throws it towards the Minot High sideline. Incomplete and on a play, and a 4th down is on the board now for the Magi, trailing 7-0.
Yeah, and maybe something I thought Minot was going to do a little bit earlier in that drive was roll Jaden out and try to make a play with his feet. But honestly, a great defensive play there by Cam Allers for Shanley, kind of staying home as a linebacker and not letting Sparrow create too much on the edge.
Crispin and Oshak are back to receive the punt here as Minot High is going to boot this one away. And again, that one was almost blocked. Look at Berkerwicks comes up, and he almost got a hand on that. But another nice punt there from the Magi as that one was towered out and sent down the field there by Bridger Pennies. Shanley's offense comes back onto the football field. 7-2 Deacons on the year are a team that was floating around the number 2 spot in the media poll pretty much all season. They kind of yo-yoed around as the season continued. They were in the media poll as one of the top 5 teams. They were in the QRF as number 2 or 3 basically all year long, and they end up in that 3 spot. Minot High, I thought, was going to finish in the 5 spot. They ended up falling to number 7, and now they match up with each other here. Another shot, this time wide open on the near sideline, all the way down inside the 20. Rosberg takes it down the near sideline again, and he connects. That one was right on the mark for Connor Kraft again, and Connor Kraft is going to take that one all the way into the Minot High side of the football field. 1st down and 10. Now into the Serve Pro red zone they go as that ball's carried ahead by Adam Leininger. Leininger is going to pick up 2 yards on the play, and it brings up a 2nd down.
Just amazing how fast Shanley's going here. I'm trying to pick up my sheet here for a different number on the Shanley offense, and they've already run a play.
Look out. Turnbow comes up and absolutely clobbers Rosberg from behind. The ball came out, and they're going to rule that pass incomplete. And that might bring the Minot High coaching staff alive on the Minot High sidelines. Is that what Chauncey Hendershot is trying to talk about there? Looks like maybe a forced fumble on that play.
Yeah, I guess we're a long way away, and without the benefit of a replay, we'll never truly know. But the white cap back there made the call of incomplete almost right away, so we'll believe him.
Give Turnbow big time credit on that play. However, Connor Kraft, look out. He's inside the 5-yard line, down to the 2. And Shanley is running and gunning right now. And the Deacons are going to look to put 6 more on the board as they're deep inside the Serve Pro red zone. Fire and water cleanup and restoration at Serve Pro coming to the rescue 24/7. And Rosberg does it by himself this time. He's into the touchdown. Into the end zone for a touchdown, I should say, from the 2-yard line. And Shanley is motoring early on tonight. They lead 13-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, and a team like that down near the goal line, you've got 3-4 wide receivers out in space, and you've got a quarterback like Rosberg that you can use his feet. Not a ton that a defense can do back there when the ball's inside your 3-yard line.
Shanley's going to elect to do the point after. Instead of a 2-point conversion here, that ball's going to be up and through the uprights. It is good. And it's 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. All Shanley on the scoring side of things early on here in this one tonight. And the top quarterback in North Dakota at the hands of both of them here. High school football on the PSP Network. Shanley's up by a pair of scores.
Your business or your home, across the town or across the country. We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
Quarterfinal action for North Dakota high school football is upon us, and we're into one here tonight. The opening matchup of the AA schedule, a 6 o'clock start tonight here at Sid Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. And Shanley right now on their home field looking very impressive here tonight. They're going to kick off to Minot High with Burke waiting at his own 10-yard line. That ball's going to bounce past Fernandez. Burke's got it here, and Burke's going to motor over to the far side of the field. Oh, he's hauled up on the play. Look at the motor coming there from Shanley's Crispin. And Crispin shuts down Burke inside the 15-yard line. Well, we talked about it after the last scoring drive, a 60-yard bomb that found Hakeem to get into the end zone for the Deacons. Then Shanley scores again here. I'll ask you the same question. It's almost a must-score situation for the Magi.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm giving the ball back to Shanley with a 2-score lead at this point. Not ideal. A good start for Minot, though, with a toss-off tackle.
Ruziska is going to hit the edge and run it out of bounds. Picks up about 4 on the play. By the way, we want to thank our friends tonight at Northern Plains Heating and Air once again. Northern Plains Heating and Air has over 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts. Find them online, northern-plains.com. Big thanks as well to our friends at Jersey Mike's Subs. They truly are a sub above. Located on North Broadway in the Magic City. They also bring you the Player of the Week each and every week. And right now it's the Shanley defense that would get that nomination for this week because they're shutting down the entire Minot High offense.
Yeah, just not a lot of space between those tackles inside near the guards there, Nick. I know Minot wants to keep the clock running here, but maybe you can see some more things outside, off tackle, out in space a little bit, because boy, the Shanley is just committing so much to the run right now, forcing Minot into another 3rd and long.
Conklin lines up along with Horner. From the shotgun, Sparrow here. Sparrow falls back to pass, goes to the other side of the field, trying to connect with Horner, and that pass is incomplete. The coverage in the secondary from Shanley, prime time again. Herkowitz is over there, and he's going to shut the door for the Deacons.
Yeah, and a real lucky for Minot there. Looked like Shanley had dropped into a bit of a zone look there, and he threw it in a little bit of tight coverage there. So the Magi dodge a bit of a bullet, but Shanley looks to get some good field position either way.
When you look at the Magi on the season and the losses that they suffered, one to Davies, one to Cheyenne, and one to Legacy, they had some big wins as well on the year in the Down West region. Here comes the Shanley Deacons all the way back up into Minot High territory over the 35-yard line. Another return and another good one there for the Shanley offense. And coming up with that one, Sam Oshak.
17-yard return for Oshak.
You look at what Minot High's schedule was, and you take away that loss from Legacy in a 5-point night, that Minot High would have ended up unbeaten inside of the West region. They would have had a record coming into tonight at 6-2. That would have mirrored what Shanley did over here in the EDC. No question here in 2022 that the east side of North Dakota really has the power in high school football. Rosberg, quick hitter again. That target for him is big, and it's Connor Kraft. And Kraft is up almost into the Serve Pro red zone again as Kraft darts on up towards the 20-yard line. Ball's going to be marked roughly at the 21. As this hurry-up offense that Shanley runs here with a quarterback that's playing at a different level next year for college football, certainly showing why. This one down to the corner of the end zone. Akeem, they threaded the needle, but it came through the hands of Akeem, and it fell incomplete.
Oh, and a nice combo route there, too. They kind of had Oshak run kind of a little in route, and took the Minot defender with him, a little bit of a mix-up in coverage, and just out of the outstretched arms of Hakeem down there. But, God, just another beautiful throw out of the arm of Rosberg there. But Minot avoids another bullet going to the second quarter.
One quarter complete. 12 more minutes in our first half. The Magi are going to need to find some offense here at Shanley. What more do you say about them? They're showing why they're one of the favorites to get back to the Dakota Bowl. 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Shanley's on top.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
$14-0. Shanley on top. Big thanks to Chuck Claremont checking in tonight. He's getting ready for his matchup on the PSP network. It's West Fargo at number 2, Mandan. And Chuck Claremont would know he was one of the studs at UND for football, name pronunciation that you brought up from earlier on tonight.
Yeah, a young kid from Shanley, and I brought up the name Jed Perkarovich and UND's last national or only national championship in football, and I said, boy, that's got to be some type of a coincidence there. I'm told his dad is sitting down here, but years ago, back in the Division II days of the University of North Dakota in football, beat Grand Valley State in a heck of a national championship game. I believe the year was 2001, so 21 years ago, and boy, there you go again with those genetics, Nick, that you and I obviously missed on, but another good athlete in North Dakota.
Thanks for the insight, Chuck. This ball's going to be tossed forward, first flag in a while here. That flag's going to come out after Connor Kraft was hit on the play, and Kraft had a gain again, but there is going to be a flag coming here.
Yeah, either a hold or maybe an offensive pass interference. Maybe a receiver started blocking a little bit too early. Oh, they got an illegal block in the back, so it'll move them back 10 yards.
That'll be a 10-yard penalty.
10-yard penalty here for the Deacons, and they're going to step all the way back on the other side of the 30-yard line as they're in Minot High territory here. Second down and 20. They spread the field out again with 5 wide receivers. Rosberg by himself from the shotgun. Fires out to the near side on the quick hitter again, and Hakeem is forward.
Pass complete to Hakeem.
and really a lucky play there for Minot. Hakeem did have his knee on the ground when he caught that ball, but the Shanley had exactly what they wanted there too, with a wide receiver blocking out in space. So lucky for Minot that Hakeem's knee was down, which in high school football it's no contact to the ground roll.
Same formation here from the Deacons. From the right hash, ball's going to be set up here. Rosberg again goes quick to Hakeem. He's up over the 20-yard line, down to the 10, 5, touchdown. Hakeem's going to dance that one to the house for his second score of the ball game. And touchdown number 26 through the air for Rosberg. And it's all Shanley Deacons in this one.
Yeah, really just the same play and the same look that they ran on the play before that. But you get the ball to an athlete in space, and you get him into a one-on-one matchup with a safety for Minot. The kid makes a nice move and gets himself into the end zone.
11:37 left here in quarter number 2. And in our first half, and Hakeem is going to find his way to the house. They're going to go for the point after again. This one up, and just like clockwork, it's through the uprights. And 21-0, Shanley's on top here in this quarterfinal matchup. We had them highlighted before tonight's broadcast. We said Rosberg and Hakeem would be a combination that we look forward to, leading the EDC as the quarterback and the top receiver here on the east side of the state. They certainly haven't disappointed tonight, especially if you're a fan of Shanley. They lead 21-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. As Conklin took that one from his own 30-yard line, dances all the way down to the other end of the football field for his 7th touchdown of the year. Over on the far sidelines, 2 over here on the left. And back to pass to Sparrow. They're going to take a shot up to Conklin. He's open over the 40, down to the 30, 20. Hello, 10-5 touchdown. Logan Conklin. Shanley's red helmets shining with the lights on him here tonight. That football is going to go through the legs of Kraft, comes all the way back now to Burke, and Burke's going to try to bust free for the Magi on the ensuing kickoff after the 3rd touchdown was scored by the Deacons. Minot High is going to be hemmed back in their own territory here. Obviously, Minot High is deflated at this point in the ball game. Early on, Shanley leads 21-0. Game plan for Chauncey Hendershot here. You just obviously have to try to pick away at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we talked about earlier, as far as leaving anything behind in the playbook. I mean, it's time to advance the football. I mean, a lot of time left in the game, but you got to start at some point picking away at that Shanley lead.
We talked about it on one of the plays earlier on that ended up on a scoring drive for the Deacons. It's like a backyard football game, the way that they spread their offense out, and there's targets that have athleticism and that skill, the ability to have multiple guys that you can throw it to with the best quarterback in the state, obviously is the real difference maker and X factor in tonight's ball game. Minot High is a quarterback of their own, and Sparrow, he's going to look to take a shot here. Finds Fernandez. First down for the Magi. Cuts back. He's got some room. Horner's got a block for him. He's up over the 50-yard line, down to the 45. And the Magi move it across midfield after Fernandez took that hitter right there from Jaden Sparrow. And Minot High's on the move.
Yeah, and Sparrow showing off his arm a little bit there. Just kind of a stick route where Fernandez kind of got into some space there, made a good throw, and, you get the ball in space, and he's able to kind of get to the outside and get to Shanley's side of the 50.
Left hash here for Jaden Sparrow. One on the backfield, 2 spread out on the right side, 1 on the left. It's taken by Sparrow over to Conklin. Conklin at the line of scrimmage. He's going to cut back to the middle of the field, and Conklin barrels his way down up over the 35-yard line, and a fearless play there from Logan Conklin.
Yeah, a little bit out of the Shanley's book with those quick passes, getting the ball out quick, and Minot going quick here, trying to get into that lead.
Sparrow hands it off. This is Ruziska. Hog-tied on that play, had nowhere to go as he's hauled up near the line of scrimmage. I believe the credit on that play is going to belong.
It looked like number 55, Damon Hospitalis, was right in the backfield right away. I'm not sure if he got the tackle, but he was definitely the disruptor on that play for the Deacons.
Thank you. Hospitalis on the play. And you look at Shanley's defensive and offensive lines, they certainly have some size. Red and white to me is about as mean as it looks, too, by the way. Take it here. Sparrow sends it out to Fernandez again, and Fernandez is going to be hauled up, trying to get to that first down marker. On top of him with the coverage defensively with Sam Oshak. And it's going to be short for Minot High. Brings up a 4th down and 1 here for the Magi. And one could be the most important play so far of the ball game here for the Magicians. Sparrow looks over to the sideline, tried the hard count, couldn't get Shanley to jump. Play clock's down to 19 seconds and some time to go here for Jaden Sparrow as the fans come to their feet here in Shanley. Comes back to Ruziska, cuts back, he fumbled the football. How about the defensive coverage coming there? What a stop that was, as all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, the stop was made from Perkarovich, and Perkarovich causes Minot High to fumble the football. Shanley's going to take over.
Right, and just, on 3rd and 4th down both there. I mean, Sparrow was lucky to get that third down pass even off. It looked like Shanley brought their entire student body, and then on 4th and short, kind of the same thing. Minot tries to toss it out into some space, and with all those blitzing backers, I mean, just really tough now for Minot to get anything going on the ground, and Shanley's got it back up 21-0.
Don't forget a doubleheader tonight on the PSP Network. West Fargo is at Mandan tonight. You'll have Chuck Claremont and Scott Woodmansey on the call of that one tonight. And again, tomorrow, a doubleheader of playoff football. Velva will host Dickinson Trinity tomorrow. I'll have the call of that one from Velva, North Dakota. Then Todd Domries and Scott Woodmansey will travel west of Bismarck over to New Salem for New Salem Almont taking on Grant County Flasher. Rosberg is hit hard on the play there from Brown in the secondary, but Rosberg picks up a first down as he dances his way through traffic.
Jack Brown with the tackle for Minot.
Well, the first look for me on the year of Rosberg in live head and color here tonight. And I'm telling you, I don't know if there's a flaw in that kid's game. Ball's thrown out to the 40-yard line. Brown is there on the coverage again. He makes the stop, but not before Oshak is going to pick up some major yardage. And another first down here for Shanley.
And Oshak's a kid that's had a really nice game for them. One of those, I've said it in the past on your network, Nick, just a multi-sport athlete, quite a player for the Fargo South Shanley hockey team as well.
Rosberg spins his way up just about to the 35-yard line. Yeah, those multi-sport athletes certainly are fun to watch, and the ones that have a favorite position or a favorite sport to play. Rosberg, his favorite is football, even though he plays baseball and basketball. This ball is going to be tossed out of the corner, trying to go to the end zone again. There is a flag on the play. Brown was on the coverage, and over to the far side corner of the football field, that was Crispin. And the flag on the play is going to bring up some yardage coming here for Shanley, as it was pass interference on Brown to the corner.
Right, and in the high school game, you'll take that versus a spot of the foul. 15 yards from there, looked like Brown was beat on the edge there. Did a little bit of face guarding, got into the wide receiver. So 15 yards for Shanley, and it looks like it'll put him about a first down at roughly Minot's 22-yard line.
8 minutes, 29 seconds to tick away here in the first half. 21-0. Shanley's on top. Rosberg was a hockey player his whole life until he decided to change gears and play on the hardwood, playing basketball now for Shanley. Made that transition. You don't hear of that too often. Not often do you have a guy athletic enough to make that transition.
Right. That's being a hockey guy myself, there's kind of the line in the sand between the basketball guys and the hockey guys once winter season comes around. So more credit for him being able to go from the skates to the hardwood.
Well, I know for myself, I certainly don't have a shot that I was a hockey guy. I got to throw that thing up like a brick trying to get it over a fence. Incomplete. Big thanks again tonight to our friends at Hub International Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, whether it's business or personal insurance, Hub International is the leading North American insurance brokerage. You can contact Josh Cattell or Michael Borman at Hub International Insurance for your personal and business insurance needs. 355-3100. Hub International Insurance brings you the ballgame and state playoff coverage. Handoff here to Leininger. He's going to be wrapped up by the Minot High defense, and it looked like Jones from Minot High came up with the stop.
I think it was George for Minot there, number 13, kind of hanging on for dear life. Big fourth down early, yet again, still early in the football game here. See if Minot can bend but not break and get off the field.
Well, another one here for Shanley puts them towards the run clock. Mark down to the corner of the end zone. Akeem, can he make it a hat trick? He can't. That one just missed as he led him to the far corner.
And a great defensive play there too. Hakeem ran a double move there, and kind of a pump fake there from Rosberg, and just out of the outstretched end. Maybe Brown got away with a little bit of pass interference there, a little bit of a hand fight, but Minot will take it and try to turn the ball the other way.
Hakeem, Oshak, and Kraft. When you look at what they've done on the year, 19 combined touchdowns on the receiving end of things. Yeah, Dukert in there as well with 2 touchdowns of his own. And it's a Shanley team that is about as fun to watch as a team you're going to find in high school football, the way they spread the field up. Minot High took over on downs. It's taken here by Kraft, and Kraft's up for a first down, and the legs chopped out from underneath him as he slides up over the 35-yard line.
Really nice play design there by Minot, and getting all the linemen down, the defensive linemen downfield into Sparrow, and just kind of a quick drop off to the edge and getting a first down.
First down and 10. Sparrow from the shotgun fires out. Fernandez hits the brakes, cuts back to his left, and he's going to dance up over the 40-yard line. Minot High with just about a 6-yard gain on the play, and the Magicians moving just a bit now.
Right, and Fernandez here in the last 2 possessions really stepping into a nice roll out of the slot there. Sparrow getting rid of the ball quick because he doesn't have a lot of time, and Fernandez has been good.
Look out, Fernandez is going to be tattooed on the play as he bobbled that pass coming from Sparrow. Anybody catch the number of that truck? I did. It was 19, Joey Dukert. And he absolutely popped Fernandez on that play.
Right, and maybe the throw might have been a little bit behind Fernandez there, but even if he catches that, he's gonna pay the price there too. So brings up a third down for Minot, and let's see what the offensive staff for Minot draws up here.
Chauncey Hendershot came out of the field to talk to Jaden Sparrow. That play clock's down to 6 right now as the ball's taken here on the 3rd down and 5 to go. Sparrow's going to roll out of the pocket to his right side, looking for the pylon, just throws it upfield, got it to Kraft, but that one was dropped there as that one went into the fingertips and then out on the far sideline.
And a really nice athletic throw on the edge there. That's on the far side of the field, so I didn't see if he was out of bounds or dropped it, but just a really nice athletic play by Sparrow there. Just didn't quite get the completion that Minot needed.
You look at the pace of play in this ball game. It's almost like both teams are trying to get out of here so they can get to the Red Pepper tonight before it closes here in Fargo. Punting are the Magi. There's a excellent punt that's going to go down inside the 20. Takes a Magi bounce. Look at that ball roll all the way down inside the 5. And Minot High is going to have an excellent note on their special teams chart here today as that ball was punted down inside the 10. And Shanley's going to start deep inside their own territory.
And I'm really surprised, Nick, that after the ball went over Chrisman's head, he went back and kind of took a look and kind of pretended to touch it. I think that'll definitely be addressed in film by the Deacons this week, up 3 scores, not trying to give Minot any life there. But, once again, we are dealing with high school kids, and high school kids at some point, they make choices that, have the coaches scratching their head, but a very, very good teachable moment in the film room there for the Deacons.
Petty's on the kick, by the way, for the Magi. Here's Rosberg from his own end zone. Rosberg had the ball knocked out of his hands. It's on the ground. Minot High's going to end up with the football. Are they or are they not? It's a touchdown for the Magi. Talk about a big-time play. That ball was stripped free out of the hands of Rosberg. They forced the fumble, and Minot High comes up on top of the ball. Who's the one that's going to get credit with the touchdown there for the Magi? Is it DJ Jones?
Just a mass of bodies there, and really, we've given a lot of credit to Rosberg, but, I think the Shanley coaching staff's going to say, boy, around the goal line there, you're going to want to get rid of the football. You don't have as much time as you'd like, and Minot was able to knock the ball free and get on the board.
forced fumble for the Magi. And they put points on the board here, and talk about a defensive swing for the Magicians as they come up with a big one. And Minot High breaks the goose egg on their side of the board and turns into a two-possession ball game, 21-7. Minot High trailing in this one. Couldn't be a bigger play than that.
Right, and you talk about in football the different teams, the offense and the defense and the special teams being complementary of each other, and a great punt by Minot inside Shanley's 5 sets up the Minot defense to tee off a little bit there on Rosberg, and a big score. Does it get Minot back and moving in a little bit of momentum? I guess we'll find out.
Minot High needed that the worst way. Rosberg was inside of his own end zone. Ball was knocked down. I believe it was DJ Jones with the credit on the touchdown for Minot High as he knocked that ball free and ended up landing on top of it. See if we can get the official on that for you. DJ Jones, the 180-pound junior defensive lineman. Prestwich Orthodontics, by the way, is specializing in braces and Invisalign for all ages. They also bring you the ball game here tonight. We offer free consultations and financing options to make it easy to take your smile to the next level. You can call 852-2646 or visit minotbraces.com today to get started with your free virtual consultation. It's Prestwich Orthodontics. Big thanks as well to our friend Mason Kramer at Mason Kramer Photography. For all your senior portraits and game action shots, it's Mason Kramer. That ball's going to be retrieved in the end zone here by Shanley, running it out up over the 10-yard line. With the ball was Crispin, and Crispin, I think, had a little miscommunication there on what happened.
Yeah, in the high school game, Nick, any ball that's kicked into the end zone is an automatic touchback. The refs might have done him a little disfavor by not blowing that dead right away, and actually, honestly, I was kind of surprised he ran it up to begin with, didn't know the rule, but no, in high school football, ball goes into the end zone, it is an automatic touchback.
He and I were the only two that didn't know that rule, apparently, as they bring it out to the 20-yard line. Shanley goes back to work with a 2-score lead at 21-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Rosberg's forward, but Minot High makes the stop coming there from one of those linebackers that's been good all year long, and that's Brady Larson. You look at what Minot High will bring back next year. You've got Michael George, Max Cunningham, and Brady Larson, all juniors this year. It's a scary thought for some of those opposing quarterbacks and running backs across the state of North Dakota, because that linebacker core for the Magi has been one of the tops of the West region all year long.
First down, Deacons.
Minot High will lose Caden Turnbow, however, number 77 on the front line on offense and defense. He made the announcement this week that he's going to move on to play college football at Minot State. Congratulations to Turnbow.
And it's really fun, Nick. I read that this week, and I saw you posted it on Twitter. And, just watching him in the trenches here, I mean, it's taken 2 and 3 guys for Shanley to keep him out of Rosberg's face every down. And that's a kid that's playing on both sides of the ball, too.
Ball's pitched out, barely got that one away, but they did. Into the possession it comes for the Deacons, and forward with the play. Perkarevich gains some on the play, but he doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage, so it brings up a 3rd down and 11 to go.
And really a great play there by George for Minot, kind of smelling that rat. Shanley setting up a screen, and, he stayed home and was able to make a big tackle in space.
Back to pass, Rosberg downfield, tossed it to the far side. Incomplete, brings up a 4th down. And it seems like Minot High might have Uncle Mo on their side right now, and that mojo working for them.
And again, we just talked about Turnbow, and there he is in the backfield. And, by the end of the game, him and Rosberg can shake hands and give each other a hug because they're getting to know each other really, really well this second quarter.
Rosberg, he's going to punt this one away as that ball's going to tower up over the 50-yard line. Takes a bounce in favor of Minot High back over the 50. And Magi, and the Magi will have the football at midfield with a 1st down and 10.
Yeah, a little bit of Randall Cunningham there with punting out of the shotgun, remembering the old Eagles-Vikings quarterback from years ago, and they'd it'd be 3rd and long, and Randall would punt it from the end zone for the Eagles, and then punting for the Vikings when the Vikings were out without a punter when he was the backup quarterback. So an interesting look there, but it's something too that you're going to have to scout for that. A kid's able to punt the football from that, and you know what, he's probably able to run for 20 or 30 yards too. So another big possession for Minot started on Shanley's side of the field here.
Big thanks to Eric Schaefer, the voice of the Magi. He just checked in and said that he went back and reviewed the play. It was DJ Jones that knocked the ball out of the hand. Here's the play forward up to Conklin. Conklin's into the Serve Pro red zone down to the 15 as Minot High takes the pass from Sparrow to Conklin. And here come the Magi. A score here would turn this tide in a big-time way.
And really a nice route there, run from Conklin. I mean, he's got a future Division I athlete, Hakeem, covering him, and getting Hakeem to turn his hips the other way so he's able to get to the middle of the football field there. Credit to Conklin for really selling the double move to the outside and then coming inside that seam and getting the ball down inside Shanley's 20-yard line.
Well, Minot High will slow it up a bit here, 30 on the play clock. As Sparrow comes back in. That last scoring play for Minot High, their defense and DJ Jones forced the fumble from Rosberg, and it was actually Landon Bedell was the one that fell on the football in the end zone to score the touchdown for Minot High. Thank you again, Eric Schaefer, the voice of the Magi, for checking in. Shot to the end zone. Conklin corner. Oh, he went up for it. Incomplete on the pass as Hakeem was there on the coverage. And you want to talk about two dudes going toe-to-toe all night long here tonight. Who's going to be the one that's got more energy when this one's all said and done, because they're giving each other a workout right now.
Right, and another really nice route there by Conklin to set up Hakeem, where Hakeem thinks it's going to be a quick little spot pass, and then he turns on the jets and gets to the corner. I bet if you ask Conklin if you had 100 chances at that ball, what he should catch it, he'd say probably 99 out of 100. A really good throw from Sparrow there.
They go with Fernandez and Horner over on the right side. Ruziska in the backfield and Conklin on the left, but it's Sparrow that keeps, now fires forward. Oh no, that pass is picked off. Trying to take this one downfield on the run over the 40-yard line. How about Caden Turnbow coming down to make the play there? Perkarovic came up with the football as he read that one like a book. Shanley with a big-time play as Minot was knocking on the door. Perkarovic all the way up over the 40-yard line before he's brought down by Turnbow.
And you said it there, Nick, a little miscommunication there from Minot trying to set up a screen to that side, and the receiver didn't turn around until the end, but my goodness, Caden Turnbow, was running upfield and a turnaround and run 60 yards to catch Perkarovic there. That, a big play for Shanley, but just what a hustle play for the senior for Minot High School there.
That was almost 6 more on the board on a pick 6 from Shanley. And if that doesn't show you what kind of talent and determination that Turnbow has, I don't know what will. That was maybe the play of the game for the Magi.
It seemed like he was running toe-to-toe with Ruziska there. And, he's a speedy athlete. You can see why Caden's going to be playing some college football in his future.
Nice read as well from Perkarovic. And Perkarovic, I'm sure his eyes lit up when he saw that football coming to him. Credit the defensive coverage from Shanley and that pressure that they put on Jaden Sparrow. Not many times this year has Sparrow been picked off on the season. Only 3 interceptions for him on the year, and that was number 4. Shot to the other side, over down to the corner. That one into the hands and then out. It was there intended for Connor Kraft, and Kraft was almost in for 6.
Yeah, cover 0 there for Minot, and Shanley's offensive line doing all they can to keep Turnbow out of the backfield. But Rosberg, set his feet there and made a really nice throw to the outside that I'm sure like we said with Conklin would probably want that one back down here in the end zone. I bet Kraft would like that ball back as well.
Rosberg from the shotgun. Hard call from him. Fires it over. Goes back over. Football's on the ground. Shanley's going to come up with it as that ball was stripped again. And another nice play from Minot High's defense. And Connor Kraft was the one that caught the ball. Then he was stripped. And Minot High is going to take over on downs.
Yeah, the past couple possessions have been really positive for Minot High. But, we seems like we're talking about it a lot. But how big is that play from Turnbow running down Perkarovic? A kid that probably weighs 40 to 50 pounds less than he does, and just, turning the jets on, and then, stays on the field and is in the backfield of Rosberg that entire possession. So 3:42 on the clock here. Let's see if Minot can get something before the half.
Yeah, put it this way, all you gentlemen that no longer are in high school that are sitting on your couch or in your garage or maybe at Buffalo Wild Wings or an establishment tonight, just imagine that. You make a play like that, run onto your mailbox as fast as you can at an absolute sprint, go back in the house and see if you have any wind left to even get up to go to the fridge for another Diet Coke. Most of us would say probably not, and he stayed right in the ballgame. 21-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Shanley's on top. 3:34 left here in the opening half of football. We've got a timeout on the field. Minot High
It'll be 2nd and 10.
and Shanley both with 2 timeouts left. I believe it was a Shanley timeout.
Yep.
Either way, they lead 21-7 in the state quarterfinals.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment, for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Minot High back on the offensive side of the football. Sparrow's going to take a shot downfield. Fernandez is there. Oh, he threaded the needle down to the 30, into the 20-yard line to the Serpro red zone. And Sparrow connects with Fernandez. And Sparrow saying, you want to talk about the top quarterback on the east side of the state? Well, maybe somebody from the west side deserves that credit there. And he's kind of showing that here tonight.
And what a great throw from Sparrow, rolling to his right there, just hitting the young man Fernandez in stride. And Fernandez, that's got to put him over 100 yards receiving in the first half alone. A great throw, great catch, and a shoestring tackle save Shanley.
Take that first quarter away of football here tonight. It's a different storyline. That ball 500 on the line. They both jumped up after it. And Hakeem had the defensive coverage to bat it away from Logan Conklin.
And credit to Hakeem there. That's the same route that Conklin ran when Minot was down on this end of the field. And, he kind of fooled me once, shame on me, fool me twice. And, he, did a nice job there. And, really a nice play by him, not trying to intercept the ball against a kid like Conklin. Just knock the ball down. We don't need to be fancy. Trying to intercept the ball there, and Conklin could take it away from you.
Minot High, no longer the hurry up. Taking a moment here. Play clock is down to 16. They set up in the Serve Pro red zone. 24/7 emergency response for fire and water, cleanup and restoration. Sparrow with a target on the left. That's Conklin. 2 on the right, but he goes to Ruziska. And Ruziska just hasn't been able to find his way through, as that defensive line for Shanley tonight has really stood tall.
Yeah, like we said, just those, it seems like Minot's just not getting a really great push there from the guards, and, maybe that's something where Minot's going to maybe put someone in motion, maybe try to run some jet sweep, but goodness, that's just that interior of that Deacon line is just so good.
3rd down and 12 for the Magi in Shanley territory. Sparrow falls back to pass, pressured again, tried to go to Conklin, flags on the play, and Conklin had pass interference on him as Hakeem tied up the feet of Conklin. And Minot High is going to get themselves some field position here to break on the pass interference call.
And again there, Conklin's been running all sorts of routes. I mean, a great athlete like Hakeem, you've almost got to, outthink him a little bit. And there, he really faked to the flag and kind of turned his route into a post route. And by there, kind of Hakeem had turned his hips a little bit. And, really, it's either a touchdown or you take him down. And they'll take that 15-yard penalty, instead of 6 points for Minot.
Chauncey Hendershot delivering the call in to Jaden Sparrow. If you've never had an opportunity to talk to Chauncey Hendershot, he follows in the footsteps of Barry Holman, former coach of the Magi. I don't think when you talk about those two guys, I don't think you can find 2 nicer gentlemen across the board. Gave Chauncey a call last night late. I was looking for lineup cards last night, and he's just Always the nicest, politest guy that you can find on the planet. Sparrow's going to be taken down. And how about that play? Big number 56 comes in, and Will Mayhew slams the door, and Minot High's got a loss on the play.
And just a great play by him, shooting the gap. And, I actually had him picked up during the during the anthem when he had his helmet off, and it was just like, my goodness, that is a well put together athlete.
He looked over to the Shanley section, or shouldn't say the Shanley section. The whole thing is the Shanley section tonight here with a home playoff game. Minot High is going to have that play clock go down to 2. He went over and looked over here to the near side and waved the arms in the air as to say, let's get fired up here, and for good reason. Timeout on the field. We've got ourselves a ball game here tonight. 1:56 remains in the first half. It was all Deacons to start. Minot High has joined the party. It's 21-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. The Deacons are in the driver's seat. Minot High faced with a fourth down situation inside the Shanley red zone.
Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esvold. Find them online at ackermanesvold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and
Well, we apologize to Ackerman Esvold. We'll get that commercial made up to you. We do apologize, but a fourth down here. Sparrow taking a shot, trying to go to Fernandez, went up after it. Incomplete on the fourth down. And Shanley's going to take over on downs, but you have to like the way that Minot High is playing right now, trying to go blow for blow in almost a Holyfield versus Tyson type of dogfight here tonight.
Yeah, and when Shanley reeled off those 3 consecutive touchdowns, you're just like, boy, you use the phrase, boy, Shanley is going to run Minot out of the gym here. I mean, this is going to get old fast, but to their credit, Minot has really kind of hung in there and so close on a couple different occasions to try to make it into a one-score game.
Football's handed off. Leininger breaks free. First down, then more. Oh, my goodness. All the way up almost to the 40-yard line. And the yards after the initial tackle here tonight for Leininger and company for Shanley have been impressive. 1 minute, 49 seconds to play in the first half. Premier Chiropractic halftime report comes up right around the corner. Deacons move and groove. They fire to Hakeem as that one completed. And the hurry-up offense is on as Shanley wants some more here before the end of the first half of football, leading 21-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. From the shotgun, Rosberg takes it here, fires it out. That one completed again. And the big man over on the far left side with the football is Connor Kraft. He's got a first down, and Shanley doing a nice job of not only clock management here, but also connecting on the plays and running the hurry-up offense. Rosberg again. Hands off, Leininger. He's going to bust free. Leininger's up over the 30, down to the 25, taken down as he had one man to beat. And the stop was made from Minot High. Coming up with that stop for the Magi was number 13, Michael George. And if he wouldn't have been there into the end zone for 6 more, would have went the Deacons. Rosberg falls back to pass, fires it out. How about that play? Put that one on the list for a top play in the ball game here tonight. Is diving out, putting the hands out was Kraft. He's got it. And another first down for Shanley as they enter the Serve-Pro red zone. 1 minute and 3 seconds ticks down here in the first half. Shanley looks for more now as they've hurried up down the field, but there is a stop on the play. There's Laundry on the field.
Motion on the Deacons.
Boy, and again, Nick, I am just really impressed with how fast Rosberg gets his team up to the line of scrimmage and gets them going. I mean, you do a great job explaining what's happening to the folks, and I mean, I don't want to say anything because the Deacons are going too fast on the line of scrimmage.
That communication between the offensive coordinator, Troy Manor, the head coach in Rossburg, is really something special and something that needs to be talked about here tonight as well. Hits Hakeem over at the 10, and Hakeem is forward again for more yardage on the play with 43 seconds remaining here in our first half. Well, we'll take a break as well. 21-7, Shanley's on top, and they are moving and grooving, looking for more points to end our first half of football.
Whether you need wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more.
Conklin cutting that one from his own 30-yard line. Dances all the way down to the other end of the football field for his 7th touchdown of the year. Conklin over on the far sidelines, 2 over here. 21-7, Shanley on top. They look for more here. Leininger had the handoff to him, and he's going to go forward for about a yard, Dave. And now we're down to the final 30 seconds left here in the first half. Deacons in the red zone, fire across the middle, incomplete to Keem, and the Shanley fans wanted a call. They're not going to get it on the play.
Yeah, a little bit of hand fighting going there, but probably had something to complain about. Looked like Brown for Minot got in there maybe a tad bit early, but Minot will take a no call there and bring up another, like I think we've said it plenty of times, another big 4th down.
4th down for the Deacons with 26 seconds left in the half. Firing corner of the end zone. Down to Brown again on the coverage, and Brown put the arms in the way. Hakeem a little bit frustrated over there as Anthony Brown shut that play down. Minot High takes over on down.
And I looked at the back judge there, Nick, and he actually went down into his pocket and grabbed his flag and looked at the other line, looked at the side judge, and they both kind of said, I don't know. So, there was definitely thought, and the Shanley coaching staff, well, a little bit concerned. They're not very happy. Might have got away with 2 pass interference calls, but you know what? We'll take it and maybe get out of this half only down 2 scores.
Minot High last week against West Fargo. In a 24-10 victory, there was more flags in that football game than I've seen in quite a while, Dave, and really kind of hindered the play and the flow of that one in a big way. And tonight, it's been a different story, letting them play here blow for blow. Got to like when you let them play. Hakeem would probably tell you something different here tonight, however. 20 seconds left in the half, and looks like Minot High is just going to take the air out of the football, and it will. Well, that first half was entertaining. Plenty to talk about here in our first half. After our first half on our Premier Chiropractic Intermission Report, Premier Chiropractic focused on improving the overall health of Minot and the surrounding areas through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. It's Premier Chiropractic. ND.com. Premier Chiropractic, proud supporter of North Dakota high school football. We'll come back and have our rundown of the first half here tonight, where Shanley leads 21-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It really started off tonight where it looked like Shanley was going to check on out of here before the second half even started, and Minot High found a way to come back here in the ballgame. We'll come back with our Premier Chiropractic halftime report in just a moment. It is North Dakota high school football on the PSP Network.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment, for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. I right, zoom, spider 2, Y banana. You don't like that one, okay. I right 40 power?
No.
You don't want that one either? All right, go kickoff. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
I'm a grateful person on a lot of levels. I've been given so many great opportunities. But most of all, even as a little kid, I was taught a set of values. Like tools for life, hard work, responsibility, and the key to making it all work, commitment.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esvold. Find them online at ackermanesvold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esvold. Find them at ackermanesvold.com.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by .7 at the half. It's Shanley on top of Minot High here in the Showdown. Welcome into our Premier Chiropractic halftime report. Premier Chiropractic focused on improving the overall health of Minot and the surrounding areas with the most cutting-edge technologies and natural health care today. Find them online, PremierChiropracticND.com. Premier Chiropractic is our family's choice for chiropractic care in the Magic City. Well, this one has been a bit of a dogfight. That score at 21-7 now on the BNC National Bank scoreboard may be a bit deceiving for how this game started off. At the end of the first quarter, it was 14-0 in favor of Shanley, and 21-7 at the end of 2. Nick Holberg alongside of Dave Wilson on the call here tonight during our Premier Chiropractic halftime report. Dave, it seemed like Shanley was going to be a runaway train here tonight. What changed for Minot High to help get them to where they are now, where it seems like more of a slugfest here?
I think really that the punt that the punt when it was 21-0 that went over Oshak's head and Chrisman and all the way back inside Shanley's 5 that died, and then maybe a bit of a play by your senior quarterback that things are going too well for you when it's 21-0, and he holds the ball back in the end zone, and he kind of pump fakes, and then he's waiting for a route to set up, and it gave Turnbow and company enough time to get there. And football is such a momentum sport to where then how many times does a team turn the ball over and then their next possession is a 3-and-out, and then the other team hits a play downfield. So really that momentum spring brought by the specialty teams of Minot was really, and since then it's Minot's took some shots, and Shanley still moved the football, but Minot's been able to kind of keep him out of the end zone. And this first possession for Shanley coming out of halftime here, I think will go a long way to tell us what the end result will be.
When you look at a quarterback like Rosberg and how good he is, number one in the state of North Dakota according to the passing numbers and his stat line, the high quarterback rating coming into tonight from the East region, leading all quarterbacks in the state for that matter. Does Minot High have to be concerned that they've maybe awoken the grizzly bear after forcing that fumble for 7 points? Is that a concern for you at all?
Actually, no. I'm kind of impressed with how Minot's defense is really, dug in, and since that, and you're like, oh, here we go. Like you said, you woke up the sleeping bear. But since that fumble for the touchdown, Shanley moved the ball, but they weren't able to, kind of put the nail in per se. So I thought Minot's defense kind of, held serve and kept them out of the end zone. And even at the end of the first half, a big momentum swing for Minot to keep it a 2-score game, and with the Deacons receiving the second half kickoff here, it could be 28-7. You think, boy, I don't know with them getting the ball, but 21-7 if Minot can get off the field defensively, I think, and get the offense going. Minot's proven that they can move the ball in the passing game a little bit here. So, really, I think the way that Shanley scored those 3 touchdowns, I think you look for Minot and you say, hey, 21-7 going into the third quarter with the way the end of the first quarter into the second quarter ended. You don't always take being down 2 touchdowns, but I think if you're Minot, you say, it's okay, and maybe that getting back out into the game here is attainable.
Minot High had a chance to get within 1 touchdown. They were deep inside the red zone. Sparrow was rushed in the pocket. He made a pass, and that ball was picked off. And Shanley, again, just has so many studs on the offensive and defensive sides. You could talk all day about how good Shanley really is all the way around. And Berkarovich was the one that intercepted that football at just about the 10-yard line. He got all the way up to the opposing 40 before Caden Turnbow, of all people, caught him. That really has to be talked about as one of the plays of the game for Minot High to stop that play, as Minot High almost was in for 6, and in the same breath they were almost down by 6 more, but Turnbow, the Minot State commitment, a nice play there.
Right, and we talked about it too when we were on commercial. Just, the kid runs 70 yards to catch a kid that's probably a little bit faster than he is, and then he stays on the field, and Minot's able to get a 3-and-out or be able to turn Shanley over on downs there and get the ball back. Plays like that are forgotten when you're on the losing end of things with time, but that's a play that I'll never forget as far as heart and effort from a kid that this isn't his last football game, but if it is for Minot High, that's a play that I think is going to be talked about for a long time within the Minot football program.
He can hang his hat on that one. Good call, Dave, without a doubt. Time to take a look at the first half scoring. It's brought to you by our friends at Roger Ward Moving and Storage. They've been proudly serving the region with moving and storage needs for their moving and storage needs since all the way back in 1942. Find them online, RogerWardMovingAndStorage.com. Schedule a move or find a quote there. It's Roger Ward Moving and Storage and our friends at Jersey Mike's. They are a sub above. They also bring you the Player of the Week each and every week on the PSP Network, bringing you the recap of the first half. 14-0 at the first quarter break. That's because at 3:19, it was a 60-yard pass in the first quarter. Hakeem from Rosberg that made it 7-0 in favor of Shanley. And early on in the ballgame, we saw what kind of arm and what kind of connection Rosberg had with Hakeem. They go up 7-0. Then with 1:10 left, it was Rosberg that ran one in from the 2-yard line to make it 14-0. We go into the second quarter, and Shanley picks up right where they left off. 11:37 left in that first half, so only mere seconds in. 35 yards out, it was Rosberg that sets up Hakeem, and that made it 21-0, and that's kind of where we talked about some gloom and doom for the Magi. But at 6:29 remaining in the first half, a forced fumble from DJ Zones inside of the end zone was recovered by Minot High's Landon Bedell, and Minot High gets on the board on the defensive side of things to make it 21-7. That's where we sit at the break during our Premier Chiropractic halftime report. Dave, final thing before our final break and our kickoff to the second half. Is there one key or one X factor in the ball game for either team in your mind that could be a tide turner here in the second half?
For Shanley getting the ball right away, I mean, just do what you've been doing, getting the ball to your playmakers, and Hakeem and Kraft and Oshak. The benefit of coming into the second half and getting the football, where you're able to sit down with your offensive group and say, okay, maybe we should run a little bit of this coming out of the half. So definitely that's why you defer at the beginning of the game, because you're going to get to come out of the half and get the ball. So I really just keep what's been working with you. Maybe if I was him, I'd maybe run Rosberg a little bit more, just because he's so tough to handle between the guards and the tackles. But and if you're Minot, it's just keep playing with heart. We saw a lot of heart plays from Minot with Fernandez and Conklin and Turnbow, and could be your last time putting on a Minot High School football uniform. So leave it out there, and just keep down by down, play by play. Just keep fighting.
Well, when we come back, we'll have our opening kickoff of the second half. Deacons lead 21-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Get ready for what could be a real entertaining second half of football.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Big thanks again to all those sponsors that make PSP Network broadcast possible. Frankly, without them, we would not be here, to tell you the truth, and that's because each and every time we show up for a playoff game, we have to write a check to the North Dakota High School Activities Association for the rights fees for a matchup like tonight. So without those sponsors, again, we really wouldn't be here. I don't have a money tree in my backyard, and writing a check to the Activities Association, certainly not an easy thing, but it's part of the game and part of the gig. So if you can, will you do us a big favor and just say thank you to all those sponsors? If you can patronize those sponsors that you see on the PSP Network, we would sure appreciate it. They make sure that we're here each and every night for these showdowns on the PSP Network. And on that note, make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. A like and a follow on those social media platforms helps us support our mission of promoting local athletes. The more people that follow, the more people that like, the more people that share, more opportunities for these kids to get seen. And that is the bottom line of why PSP Network is in business. Well, we start with Shanley on the offense here with a first down and 10 to start things off of the second half. And it's a handoff to Leininger, and he barrels his way through. That kid is a workhorse. And he gains about 5 on the play, and it brings up a second down and 5 here for the Deacons.
Yeah, a little bit more of what we saw at the end of the second quarter there. Just a really tough kid to bring down there out of the backfield.
Second down and 5. Quick hitter again to Hakeem. He's going to bust free, trying to dance up the sidelines, but it was a defensive stop coming from Michael George. Lucky George got some hands on him because Hakeem could have been off to the races.
Just so smooth in space there with the football. Really, really bright future ahead of him for Hakeem. I've been impressed with him all evening.
When you look at Hakeem along with Rosberg, big hit there. Conklin laid the body big time into the back of Dukart. Ducart's down on the ground. Hopefully he's all right. Conklin's a war machine himself, a big kid. And Ducart's down. The breath is certainly out of the belly there. That was a hit and a clean one as that ball was tossed to him. But Dukart just a bit slow to get up here after that play.
Yeah, really just kind of like you said, not a cheap play. It's really a football play, and Conklin's not looking to hurt anybody out there. Just the receiver had his hands up, really strong throw from Rosberg, and ball went through, and Conklin stepping up to make the tackle. I mean, a split-second decision there. I mean, tell a kid to hold up when the ball's gone incomplete. So hopefully it's just the wind got knocked at him. Looked like he's up now with the trainer. So good news for the Deacons.
5'11", 180 pounds for Dukart. When you look at Logan Conklin, that kid's 6'4", 175 of pure muscle, and that was a big hit. You got to give some credit there to Dukart because I know for a fact it would take me a little bit longer to get up after that one. Second down and 10 coming here for Shanley. Never too early, never too late to tweet at us at Network PSP on Twitter. Let us know if you have an idea of who's going to be up for the MVP of the broadcast of this game here tonight at our post-game show brought to you by our friends at Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. We'll have the MVP that's brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips in Minot and Bismarck. Sport Clips, home to the MVP haircut experience. You can check in online with a hairstylist today at your convenience at Sport Clips in Minot and Bismarck. Again, a big thank you to Sport Clips for their continued support. There is a flag on the ground.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the refs are talking about here. Maybe an illegal man downfield. It was a quick pass, so maybe not that. But I guess I'm not sure what they're looking at. Maybe a formation penalty. No flag on the play, so that'll get it to third down.
They're going to pick up that flag.
Well, it's been played clean here tonight, or called that way at least you could say here in this showdown. The officials letting him go here tonight. I wasn't sure what the call was going to be to begin with. Third down. 4 to go here for the Deacons. From the shotgun again, spreading the field out are the Deacons and Rosberg. Rosberg's taking a shot downfield over to the near sidelines. That ball is up for grabs. Who's got it? Is it Conklin on the near sidelines, or is it Oshak? And it's Oshak that's got it. It's a first down for Shanley.
First down.
And just a great play there by Oshak, taking the ball away from Conklin, who was in a great spot there defensively. And it looked like kind of a tie there as far as the possession goes. In football, a tie does go to the offensive player.
Leininger with the carry. Gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Excuse me there.
Brady Larson in on the tackle.
On the hurry-up offense, another first down came from it. A gain on that first down play, and it's a second down now. And 5 here with 10:40 to play in the third quarter. Mandan on top of West Fargo, the last we heard, by 14. Corner of the end zone again. That one's up for grabs. Out of bounds is the call as that ball was wrangled in. It was caught over the far corner by Connor Kraft, but he was out of play.
And Rosberg did a nice job there, really putting the ball where only his receiver could make a play. And a big 6'8" foot, 6'8" wide receiver out there on the edge. I mean, just throw it up and let him make a play. And just the official right on it there, and wasn't able to get a toe in.
20-0 the score of that Mandan West Fargo game, by the way. Mandan's on top. Well, Rosberg had the hard count, and I think he got Minot high to jump off sides. It's going to bring up.
As a reminder, North Dakota High School League rules do not allow the use of noisemakers.
A third down.
During athletic contests.
And just real short here on the 5-yard play. I didn't know that. No noisemakers here at the football field.
I just learned that as well.
Minot High is going to have a stop there as their defense comes up and shuts the door on Rosberg.
Loss of 1.
I suppose if you open that door up, you never know what's going to happen. One of the greatest stories I have from my playing days back in the day, I'll tell you after Shanley completes this play right here on the 4th down situation. Passed out, Oshak's got it, dancing down the sidelines, and Oshak's going to pick up a first down, and they continue to move and groove. I'm playing Pee Wee hockey way back in the day, and there was a player on the team that had a dad that made an artificial noisemaker, and what it was a big air compressor tank. This ball's going to be run forward. There's a flag on the play. Hauled up there inside of the 10-yard line as Rosberg was down, but there's a flag.
I believe illegal participation there on Minot. Minot was trying to run a kid off late, and Shanley was able to get the play off. So I think you've got a penalty on Minot and kind of a free play for Shanley.
That's exactly what it will be, Dave. So anyway, we're going into Canada
12 men on the field
for Pee Wee hockey. And at the border, the Border Patrol said absolutely not. There's no way you can bring, what is this, a bomb? What is this thing? And Mr. Jackson opened up that air tank that had about 6 trumpets connected to it and just let that thing absolutely sail. Here's the play again for Rosberg, and just not quite in yet. Brings up a second down. Can you imagine what those guys were thinking at the border? That thing was loud as can be. I suppose say no noisemakers here, and that way you avoid stuff like that. Brings up the second down. Leininger
the carry.
Inside the 5 in the Serve Pro red zone. Fire and water restoration and cleanup at Serve Pro. 24/7 emergency response at Serve Pro. And it brings up a 3rd down and goal coming here now for Shanley. They're going to look to pass. They fired across. That one is complete and into the end zone for the touchdown. It's connected to Connor Kraft. And Kraft right at the goal line dives in after Brown had the coverage. And it's 27-7 in favor of Shanley.
Yeah, and just again there, Nick, I was kind of looking at Shanley's formation, and I mean, they've got Kraft and Hakeem and Leininger, and I mean, for heaven's sakes, Oshak isn't even in the game for him, and he's the kid that's moved the ball down the field for him. Just so many weapons, so many options, and it turned out to be the 5-yard out to Kraft that got him into the end zone.
Extra point after the play. Right through the uprights here with 9 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the third quarter. And it's Shanley again that's on the board. They lead 28-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Shanley moving and grooving here tonight. They lead off the second half with a touchdown early on in the second half.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
AC/DC brings us back in here, coming on to the Sid-City loudspeakers here at Sid-City Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota here tonight. It's been a ball game that has featured some of the top talent in North Dakota here tonight. And they have not disappointed in this showdown. Burke is going to field that one. It kind of bounced at his ankles. He had to fall on top of it right at the 21-yard line. Bonnet High's got a first down and 10 coming here. Big thanks again to our friends at Prestwich Orthodontics bringing you the ball game here tonight. Prestwich Orthodontics specializing in braces and Invisalign for all ages. We offer free consultations and financing options that make it easy to take your smile to the next level. You can call 852-2646 or visit monetbraces.com. Prestwich Orthodontics. The Magi look for some offense of their own after Shanley just scored their 28th point of the game. They go to Fernandez off the fingertips and incomplete. 28-7. You see that scrolling ticker on the bottom of your screen with the playoff matchups coming up tomorrow. Keep in mind, PSP Network will be on the air tomorrow with Velva taking on Dickinson Trinity. That's a pretty good matchup and a pretty good rivalry between the Titans and the Aggies. We'll also have coverage of New Salem Almont in 9-man football taking on Grant County Flasher. The Storm are challenging the Holsteins tomorrow. Both games start at 2 o'clock. You can join us for our pregame shows at 1:40 tomorrow. Conklin caught the pass. He tried to cut back over to his left and lost his footing.
Hakeem on the coverage. About 6, it'll be
the 9-man game to the 11B, to the 11A, to the 11AA. It's certainly a different vibe to all of them. But the atmosphere to all of them is the same thing, and everybody's got the same goal in mind, and that's to be one of the top 2 that makes the Dakota Bowl. Shanley fans are on their feet on the third down here for the Magi as Ruziska is going to bust free to the outside, hits the edge, and Tyson Ruziska continues to tear.
And I've said it before again too, Nick. Another really nice play design there by Minot. You know, they had twins on the outside there, and they brought them towards the middle of the field and kind of cleared out the secondary for the Deacons there. Just getting the ball to Ruziska with quite a bit of space in front of him. You know, I've said it a couple times, and really is the same for both teams. Just the play design and really just the completion of these plays it really impresses me at the high school level.
Sparrow across the middle has Fernandez, and Fernandez had that one go through his fingers and then out. Incomplete pass as Fernandez would probably want that one back.
Yeah, and another just nice touch to pass there by Sparrow out there, and it looked like Fernandez had to weave and in and out of a couple different members of the secondary there, although didn't really know where the football was. But, yeah, if you ask him, he's probably going to want that throw back.
Update for Mandan here tonight. That Mandan score has Mandan on top 27-0 over West Fargo on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. And Mandan cruising right now. They finished the season at number 2 of the QRF and looking to see if they can get back to the Dakota Bowl. Interception. Leininger took it away. Then Turnbow is going to be the last line of defense again as Sparrow was picked off. And Leininger comes up with a big-time stop there for Shanley. He closes the door in a hurry.
First down!
And, we talked about it, Nick, too, before, just the linebacker play. And Leininger, in an obvious passing situation there for Minot, just sets back in kind of a space there in his zone look. And Sparrow kind of looked at his receiver the entire way and kind of was locked in on one guy. And Leininger just kind of steps in and picks the ball off. And it's almost like Jaden threw it right to him.
Got to credit that Shanley defense here tonight. The way those linebackers have played this ball game here tonight, Dave. They've caused 2 interceptions here tonight against a quarterback from Minot High that came into tonight's ball game that had only thrown 3 interceptions on the season on 160 chances. Leininger head forward on the play. How about this update right now coming here from the WDA Twitter handle, AA Playoff Football. Fargo Davies leading Legacy 22-0. Here's the big one, though. We talked earlier in the pregame tonight, Dave, that Century might be the spoiler in the playoffs. Well, this score, if that could hang on, Century right now leading Cheyenne 14-0. Century, the number 8 seed, Cheyenne, the number 1 seed in the playoffs. And Century really hit their stride at the end of the year, winning 4 straight.
Right, and we talked about it. Coach Wingenbach, been there, done that. Just experience in the postseason, just so big.
That pass is completed, dancing into the end zone again. Shanley's on the board with another one. Again, it's the quarterback that has been so good all the year. Rosberg finds Crispin, and Crispin dances in for the touchdown.
Yeah, and again, so many weapons, and just the arm strength to get the ball there so quick on those short passes and give his receivers the time to move up the field and get into the end zone.
That makes it 34-7 as Crispin dances in off of Rosberg. Well, Rosberg hasn't disappointed here tonight. I don't want to be a broken record too much, but that's a Manitowoc boys here tonight for the most part.
Oh, as advertised for sure. Just decision making in the pocket and just just how smooth the offense runs out there. I mean, he's in complete control. He knows which way he's going with the football and what his second look is if the first look isn't available.
Century over Cheyenne, 14-0 in the second quarter.
Yeah, you hear those Shanley fans. They like to hear that Century update here tonight as you hear it inside of Cincy Stadium, courtesy of the PA announcer tonight, Paul Broad. He's been fun to listen to tonight here. Great job by him on the PA. He's got his home team pretty fired up as well. They lead 35-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. All Shanley here in the second half, trying to run away with this one tonight.
The way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Best part of high school sports. Sporting world is always pretty tight-knit, and it's a small world when you talk about high school sports. This ball's going to be kicked back to Burke, and Burke's going to bust free. Burke trying to make it up to over the 35-yard line. Some familiar faces here tonight.
Yeah, and it takes me back about 20 years, Minot High School class of 2001, but a good friend of mine, and I ran into him a couple of weeks ago, Patrick Thiel, former Minot High football player. Looks like he's involved with the offensive staff for the Shanley Deacons, and I forgot that as we do once we get older in age. But yeah, Pat played Minot, played football and basketball for Minot High. His mom was my math teacher many years ago at the Magic City campus. And the one thing about Pat is he's always full energy in everything he does, and he looks like he is having the time of his life coaching football down there on the Deacons sideline. So definitely former Minot High alum Pat down there still doing what he loves to do.
Well, anyone in red and white tonight has plenty to cheer about because Shanley is on their way here tonight, leading 35-7 over Minot High, 2 points away from turning this into a run clock affair here in the quarterfinals of the state football playoffs for AA football. And Minot High seems to be a bit deflated right now as another pass was thrown out and another incomplete pass as that one went off the fingertips of Kraft on a catchable ball. Sparrow calls the shots with 10 seconds left on the play clock. We're down to 7 minutes and 7 seconds on the game clock in the third quarter. Sparrow across the middle tried to throw it out to Horner just in front of him, and it's incomplete, bringing up a third down and 10 here for the Magi.
Yeah, and this is a situation, too, where Shanley knows that Minot has to throw the football, so they'll either bring a lot of pressure or be able to drop some guys into coverage. I mean, really, Minot, as far as trying to get back into the game, Shanley knows exactly what Minot has to do, so really a case of, like you said, you play right into what the other team wants you to do, and that's unfortunately have to throw the ball a lot for Minot.
Sparrow rushed out of the pocket. He's got company. Sparrow's got the motor on. Finds Conklin. Threw it to him, and it hit him in the numbers, and it's incomplete.
Wow, and a really nice athletic play there by Sparrow, and another one Conklin might want back there. But, just a kid on the edge competing, running at full speed and kind of throwing back across his body and made really, an athletic good throw to Conklin that he just wasn't able to pull in.
Chauncey Hendershot was the first one there to tap Conklin on the shoulder pads as if to say, just relax, it's okay. Got to like that positivity from the Minot High sideline. That ball's going to go down, all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Look out, in trouble here as that ball was picked up and handled by Crispin. And Crispin had to dance a little bit as that one escaped his hands. And it's Shanley that comes back out with another set of downs. And the offense is back on the field here for the Deacons.
Yeah, a good night for Minot special teams. I mean, you don't always want to talk about a good game from your punter, but he's a couple different times tonight. He's punted the ball from south to north really well, and sent Mr. Chrisman down there and raised his blood pressure a little bit back there on the back end.
Petty's the punter for Minot High. Has had a good foot all season long for the Magi. No difference here tonight. But as Dave mentioned, he's had to punt it probably a few more times than Chauncey Hendershot and company for the Magi would have wanted him to. How about that play? As again, that ball's carried up over the 20-yard line, and the yards after the catch end that initial tackle here tonight for players like Jordan Leininger has been real impressive tonight here for the Deacons. From the shotgun again. Rosberg calling the shots. Quick hitter to the near side. Leininger's got it. He's at the 30-yard line, out to the 40. Ruziska trying to track him down. He does. As Ruziska dives forward, grabs the legs, and pulls up Leininger at the 40-yard line. That's a big-time gain there for the Shanley Deacons.
Yeah, and just really, a lot of offensive football is about timing, and just, the ball was right where it needed to be as Leininger was getting into his stride there, and, a nice effort play by Ruziska to save a touchdown, but Shanley's rolling again.
They certainly are. And another handoff coming here. Leininger's going to break free over the 20. He's pushed out of the 10 to the 5. He's into the house for a touchdown. 30 yards and into the house, and Leininger's got himself another touchdown here. And coming into the ball game tonight for Leininger, 4.9 yards averaging per carry for Adam Leininger, 67 rushes. That's touchdown number 6 on the year for him. 30-yard run. We go to run clock now. It's 41-7 in favor of Shanley. Just like clockwork, another one's up and in. 42-7, and Shanley can start to sense that they're probably going to have a pretty good opportunity in the state semifinals as they have officially blown the doors off of the Magi here tonight. It's a 42-7 score on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's high school football and AA playoffs here on the PSP Network.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
Matt Burns had to kick off for the Deacons.
Shanley is no stranger to playoff football. No stranger to being a competitive playoff football team and no stranger to winning state championships. However, that's usually at the single A level. Since they've joined double A, it's not like they've slacked at all. They've made plays like that forever. Burke had the football, then he is tattooed as the stop came from Caden Crispin. And Shanley showing why that pedigree comes with their name. In single A, they dominated for years, Dave. And tonight, they're showing that they can dominate in double A as well with one of the lowest enrollments in North Dakota AA football.
Right, and it seems like we always joked, like seems like they got the whole male school population on the sideline for them, and but no, I mean a credit to Coach Matter, really, you talked about the lack of penalties and that point directly at the coaching staff for Shanley, and Minot's been well coached as well with the few flags that we've seen in this football game, but just a really quality performance, in what they do offensively and defensively, and their coaches up and down the sideline are really active into the game and always coaching, and I mean it's 42-7, and like that sideline hasn't taken a play off here. They are all in every single play that Minot runs.
Sparrow again handing off here to Ruziska. Tied up again, and they're going to rush Ruziska back as, again, the stop is made, that time by Will Mayhus. With the presence of NDSU Bison football here in Fargo and the national championships that they continue to just put up on their trophy shelf almost, I don't even know, like deer heads maybe for a guy that lives on a ranch, I mean, you look at the way that NDSU has kind of taken over the city. How much of an effect do you think that has on high school ball here?
Absolutely. I mean, the quality, and I'm a West Region guy. I live in Fargo now, but my heart always hurts for the West schools when they go up against some of these schools out here in the East. And I mean, just the Cheyennes and the Shanley, and I mean, we talked about it earlier this week. Just three 4 or 5 blocks down the road here, well, maybe more than that, you've got Fargo Davies High School, and there's the big 25th Street rivalry that they play every year, and that's just the amount of Division I talent alone in that game. It was, I can't remember what they said, 10 to 15 Division I prospects in that football game. A lot of them are underclassmen. I mean, just the level of seriousness in Fargo with a lot of these programs play with. But honestly, if you don't, you're really going to get left behind, because the Cheyennes of the world and the Fargo Davies of the world and the West Fargo High School and now West Fargo Cheyenne, those programs with the athletes they get, they're not going to take years off. So I mean, with as small of a population as Shanley has, a credit to them and their program and the way that they're developing players. Like I said, very, very impressive performance by them.
They have dominated, and tonight no different. 42-7 they lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. By the way, our good friends at BNC National Bank have locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. There's Ruziska on the carry for a first down up over midfield. Minot High is not going to lay down and die in this one, however. But time is really wearing thin, and I think everyone in here is probably in full agreement that Shanley's going to move to the semifinals, leading right now 42-7. Chauncey Hendershot might think otherwise. They're still fighting the dog, you guarantee that. Shanley just hasn't shown any weaknesses in the armor here tonight. The lone touchdown for the Magi came from their defense and the play that they had, where they had Shanley backed up inside their own 5-yard line. It was a play from DJ Jones, who forced a fumble from Rosberg, the quarterback from Shanley, who does not fumble very often. And falling on top of it, it was Bedell that ended up on top of the football for 6 points, and the point after from J.J. Duffner was good. That's the only touchdown Minot High has been able to wrangle in here tonight, trailing 42-7. They're going to try again, this time with Tyson Ruziska. About a yard on the play, and it brings up a third down.
Allers with the tackle.
Well, we had a good time in Minot last night. It was the District 12 volleyball quarterfinals last night. Quarterfinal action leads into the semifinals here tonight. We'll be back in action for volleyball on Monday evening with the region play-in games for District number 12 heading to the Region 6 tournament. That championship and those playoff games coming up on Monday. Nice run from Sparrow as he darts out of bounds and picks up a first down, or at least he's going to be close to it. Where do they mark the football?
Looks like they're about 3 yards short there, Nick. Another great play there by Sparrow, getting the defensive end there that was kind of, honing down on here, making a move in space and getting to the outside, and just a real aggressive play to get a couple extra yards there by not going out of bounds right away and taking a little bit of a hit.
It's 4th down.
Well, the Shanley fans aren't going to let up on the Magi here tonight. 4th down and 3 here for Minot High. They're going to take a shot at it here. Sparrow's going to be rushed out of the pocket. They're in hot pursuit. Sparrow over to the far sidelines. He's not going to quite get there, I don't think. And it's a turnover on downs as Shanley takes back over here with a minute on the dot left in the third quarter as that time continues to run down as we are in run time here tonight in Fargo.
46-yard line.
Big thanks again to our friends at the UPS store, located in the Magic City in the Marketplace Foods Plaza. For all your packing and shipping needs, it's the UPS store. UPS store open Monday through Saturday for all your packing and shipping needs. Want to say thanks again to Jersey Mike Subs. They are a sub above. They bring you the player of the week each and every week on the PSP Network. Jersey Mike's, try the number 99 at Jersey Mike's. Shots Crossroads obviously has a 99 as well. Both delicious menu items. Shanley's got their hands in the air as this is going to move us into the fourth quarter, and you can see that Shanley can taste it right now. Minot High looking a bit defeated, as you would guess here. Shanley leads 42-7 as we enter our fourth quarter of action as we put the third quarter to a rest. 42-7. Deacons on top here in this one.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
We enter the fourth quarter of football, 42-7, Shanley on top. And Dave, as we take a quick look at this playoff picture inside of North Dakota, Mandan leading West Fargo right now 27-0, and Shanley on top of Minot here big time. Davies leading Bismarck Legacy is at 28-0, is that right? So Davies looking to upset Legacy here tonight. And how about this score? Century, the number 8 seed, leading West Fargo Cheyenne 20-8 with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. That would be a big-time upset at the top of the list here in this one. That might mean that Davies and Century could play for a semifinals. I'm almost willing to bet the money in my wallet right now that you're going to see Shanley taking on Mandan in the semifinals coming up. That could be a ball game as well. Those two teams just played a week ago. And I tell you what, it's a matchup where Mandan ended up handing Shanley one of their only losses of the season. That would be a showdown and one for the record books. And when you look at what Shanley has done in their past, traditionally, if you beat Shanley, they're going to come back and get sweet revenge on you. If you go back to the Dakota Bowl back in 2017, it was Bismarck St. Mary's that thumped the Deacons by a score of 31-12. Shanley came back the following year in 2018 and won 28-21. Same thing happened back to Shanley, happening back in 2009 and 10. was actually Shanley that beat Devils Lake both of those years, 31-30 in overtime back in 2009. Shanley beat Devils Lake again, 24-21 in 2010. Grafton took care of Shanley in the title game in 2011. But Shanley got Grafton back in 2012, so the payback is there from the Deacons. 2013, St. Mary's and Wapaton played, but in 2014, it was St. Mary's that beat Shanley 21-7. You look at the Shanley team, and they've been there plenty of times. They've had plenty of success in North Dakota single-A football, and they're looking to have a rematch with Mandan coming up next week. Obviously, you got to finish out the ball games, not only in Mandan, but here tonight at Shanley. But a betting man would probably place the chips that the Braves and Deacons will match up next week.
Yeah, and a lot of backups now in for Fargo Shanley, and Minot even did after the first play of the drive made some adjustments on their starting and new quarterback for Shanley is number 18 Carson Busek. So I think our night with Mr. Rosberg is done, but fun kid to watch, and get a chance to watch him next week in Mandan for sure.
Hand off on the play, Busek on the keeper. Gains about a yard of the play, brings up a second down and 9 officially here on the clock, and the BNC National Bank scoreboard that has Shanley on top 42-7. If you're just joining us here tonight in a game reset of this one, if you are just joining us, it was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, Shanley on top. At the half, it was 21-7, and since then, Shanley's just mustered off the points all in the third quarter, coming first with Kraft from Rosberg. Then it was Crispin from Rosberg. Then Leininger with a 40-yard dash into the end zone to make it 42-7. We'll have a full recap of this game here in our post-game show tonight, brought to you by Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. Shanley's not done yet, however, as they continue to run the football hard downhill, and another big gain is going to bring up a third down here for the Deacons.
Yeah, young Mr. Busek here, a left-handed quarterback, just running the same offense. I mean, you tell backups and normally JV kids in the North Dakota State playoffs to take a play off. They're still going to run the offense the way they've been running it, and whether Minot's got their starters or their backups in, Shanley plays one way, and it looks like it's always downhill.
Looking for wind. Number 8 on the year. That ball's going to come free. It's fumbled. Minot High's going to recover it. And the Magi take the football away as they're going to pick the ball up with the help coming there, Alex King. And King took it away after it was on the gridiron. And Minot High brings the offense back up.
And once again, we've said his name a lot, but, Caden Turnbow with a nice play there inside the trenches. He kind of limps off. I think he kind of rolled up a little bit there in the massive bodies. But there's a kid that's not going to come out here for the last 9 minutes any chance he's got to get on the field, meeting with the offensive staff. And, he's played for a kid to play just about every play on the line both ways all night. It does take its toll in the end. So really a credit to him and the other Minot linemen that have played a lot of downs.
You would appreciate this because were you a choir guy or just a band guy?
Just a band guy.
You should see Caden Turnbow sing the national anthem. He's in the change of pace group at Minot High, and a young man that sings the national anthem for plenty of activities at Minot High School's gym. And boy, that kid can wail on the national anthem. I mean, I'm telling you, the Star Spangled Banner performed by Caden Turnbow is certainly one of my favorites, maybe of all time.
Yeah, and that, just like we talk about it, being in different activities doesn't mean being in different sports, band and choir. And, I brought up Pat Thiel earlier, coaching for the Deacons, used to play at Minot High, and he was one of the best to come through the Minot High School music program. I believe he won the John Philip Sousa Award as a senior, but, it stretches on beyond the gridiron and the basketball court and, doing other things. And that's, I didn't know that about Mr. Turnbow, and that's just awesome that he's in other activities as well. And, to be able to sing the national anthem during a game, and an offensive lineman, that's not kind of the stereotype isn't that you're going to see the him sing the national anthem, but all the credit to him.
Big booming voice too, I'm telling you. First down and 10 here for the Magi, trying to end their season on a high note, as Shanley has had too much muscle here tonight to this East First West 6-3 showdown here tonight.
Burke with the carry for Minot.
Burke's got the carry for the Magi, doesn't get much on the play, and it's going to bring up a second down now here for the Magicians.
2-yard gain will be 2nd and 8.
You look at Minot High and their trips to the Dakota Bowl and what they've been able to do all time. They had a trip in 99, another one in 2002, 2006. They went in 14, 15, and 17. And the Magi were unsuccessful at every one of those trips to the big dance, dating back to 1999. Here's a run coming now for the Magi, and off to the races, over to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown for the Magi, as Backman's going to find his way into the end zone. And Backman's got a touchdown here for the Magicians. Might be a bit too little too late, but Minot High will take that touchdown for Backman any day of the week.
Right, and just a nice run for him getting onto the outside, and kind of caught the deer in the headlights look there for the kid in the Shanley secondary, and from that point on, I think there was no way that Backman was going to be stopped finding his way into the end zone. And like you said, keep playing football. A nice credit to him scoring in the North Dakota high school playoffs, and Duffner puts the extra point through, and it's 42 to 14.
Well, the Magi have something to be proud about here in the second half. We're not going to give up. We talked about that earlier on here tonight. And any young kids listening to this matchup here tonight, doesn't matter if you're a Shanley fan or a Minot High fan, play till the end. That's the way to do it each and every time. 42-14. Shanley leads in this ball game.
We look forward to serving you here at your local community bank.
For Minot.
42-14. Shanley on top here, this matchup.
David Holcraft.
With Minot High coming over tonight, the long 4-hour drive, starting down Highway 83 and then heading over on 94. That ball's on the ground on Minot High, trying to maybe see if they can pull a quick one there on that squib kick, but it's Shanley that does recover.
By the Deacons. Joey Jager with the recovery.
Well, you look at what Minot High has been able to do all time, and their ability against some of these teams like Shanley. We'll pull that number up for you in just a moment. I got it somewhere here in our notes card somewhere on the table here, Dave. Haven't looked at it in a minute. I'll tell you what it is here in just a second. Give me 2 seconds here, and I'll pull it up for you. Not that many matchups between these two teams all time due to the fact that typically they've played in different leagues for the most part. Shanley won the last meeting on September 5th, 2008 by a score of 18-15. Minot High does have the advantage in the win column coming into tonight, however, at 6 wins and 5 losses on the season, on the all-time career in program history, I should say.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, Nick, to see that the last time that they had played was 2008, I guess. But then Shanley being in a different division for so many years, whether it was the AA or the single A and the different names of it. Yeah, I guess it shows how long that Shanley was in. I don't want to say a lesser league, but a league down. As far as class size from Minot.
That record's going to move to 6-6 here tonight, it seems, as Shanley leads 42-14 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Run clock is off. Here with 6 minutes remaining on that BNC National Bank scoreboard. Well, the upset of the day would be Century over Cheyenne here today. And Century was leading in that ball game last we saw. The number 8 Century Patriots started the season at 0-5 and rattled off 4 in a row. At the end of the year, Century was tough. When Minot High beat them earlier on this year, that was a showdown that the Magicians had the top spot in when the dust settled. But, boy, that was a ball game up at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Pass out to the near side, and
pass complete to
it will be complete.
Loss on the play. It'll be
There's a
fourth
loss
down
on the
about
play.
16.
And I believe we've got the third quarterback that we've seen here for Shanley in the game, and that's number 10 Jax Mattern. And I would have to assume that would be the son of Coach Mattern. I was talking to you earlier this week too. Coach Mattern's son Cooper, who's now the starting quarterback at Concordia in Moorhead. They've had a pretty good season. He actually worked for me over at West Fargo Events in the summer at our outdoor facility. Really a great kid. Good family. He's got a twin sister who was a pretty good soccer player too. And now you can see younger brother who, we like to make our pitch for hockey guys, but the younger brother was a pretty good hockey player as well. And I don't believe he's playing hockey anymore. But a shout out to the Mattern family of athletes. It appears.
Always interesting. Hockey and football are just two of those sports that you have to have some aggression if you want to be able to compete at a high level in it. A lot of times they're just the most polite people of all time. No difference. It sounds in that situation there.
It'll be first and 10.
First and 10 for Minot High coming up here. Ball marked at midfield. I have to laugh. That piece of paper I was looking for, when I scrambling all over the place, it was in my right hand here. It's on the same as my note card coming into tonight. I had to giggle on that for just a moment. Dave, thank you so much for your help again here tonight. Fantastic stuff working with you again for AA playoff football here tonight in Fargo, North Dakota. Minot High is going to come back out onto the field. It's a first down and 10 as the ball's marked at the 47-yard line as the Magi go back to work on offense. Ball's handed off here and on the run for the Magi. Downhill, the carries there for the Magicians. And it was Beater that handed it off, and with the carry for Minot High.
Boy, I don't have a 19 on my scorecard here, Nick.
First down for Minot.
Sean Small, it says on this one.
Okay.
Don't you love when that happens?
Yeah, I kind of got antsy there. I was like, well, I hope you know who that is, Nick, because I'm looking down at my scorecard here for Minot, and I don't see a 19. But good for him to get into the ball game. Backup quarterback as well for Minot is number 9, and that's Lucas Beater, like you mentioned. So Sparrow kind of shutting the door on his career at Minot High.
Beater got the pass off, and Beater connects there as he gets it off to Ryder Zimmerman, and Zimmerman picks up a handful on the play. It's going to bring up a second down and 7 as Beater was rushed out of the pocket, and he looks to be the future maybe for Minot High in that quarterback position as he's got some athleticism running out of the pocket there and making another play. Second down here for the Magi. As time ticks away, we're down to 4 on the dot to play here in regulation. 6'4", 180 pounds for Beater, a player that is only in his junior campaign. Quick hitter to the near side. That pass is going to be incomplete as it rolls out of bounds here.
Looks like a live pass there, Nick. The official step back, so I believe they're calling that a lateral backwards. So kind of a tough break for Minot, but yeah, it did look like a backward pass.
That will set Minot up
about 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 11.
at the 44-yard line, make it the 43 with a third down coming here. Stick around tonight for our planning team, financial advisors, and Shots Crossroads postgame show tonight. Dave and I will break down this matchup with a full scoring recap and a preview of what could be for the state semifinals coming up in a week. Hand off again to Small, and Small's going to run forward for a nice gain on the play, but it won't be enough for a first down. It's actually going to be a fourth down.
It'll be 4th and 7.
And a 4th and 7 coming here for the Magi.
Yeah, and, like we mentioned, a lot of backups in the game, but also kind of nice to get a look at what the future is going to hold for Minot. And, we've got a good, 6'4" kid playing quarterback's not a bad thing to have to look to in the future. And, really, some kids getting some quality time, in the North Dakota State High School playoffs. So, it kind of tough to end your season right here, but, I think it's always look forward to next year. And, I know hopefully Minot can turn the page quick in the 2023 season.
Ball before that play is snapped off. There is a whistle on the play.
Delay a game on
And delay a
Minot.
game on Minot High will be charged as the play clock ran down underneath
penalty.
0 from 25, and it brings up a 5-yard penalty. Minot High will have a 4th down and a little longer here.
11.
And I think what I'm really been impressed with here, Nick, is the number of penalties we've seen from the backups. Just shows how well like the first teamers for both teams played as far as clean football goes. I think we've had more flags in the last 10 minutes here than we had, the entire first 3.5 quarters. I mean, really a testament to both coaching staffs.
Beater's going to take a shot, goes downfield, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Shanley will get the ball back on downs with a 1st down and 10 coming at midfield as time continues to tick down as we're down to 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here. It's been all Shanley in this one. They lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard by a score of 42-14. It's been a fun season of Minot High football again this year for Minot High after a year where they only picked up 2 wins last year and have come into the playoffs here this year with a record coming in for Minot High that was much improved at 5-3 and going 5-1 in the WDA this year. I think it's fair to say that Minot High football is moving in a great direction, and that coaching staff led by Chauncey Hendershot deserves a ton of credit for what he's been able to do with the program since taking over for Barry Holman. And a job well done to Chauncey. I know it's not the way that he wants his season to come to a close as the 3rd-year head coach of the Magi, but you really have to think about it as building blocks. And every year the expectation, if you're Minot High, is to win a state title, I'd have to assume. But you get into the quarterfinals and you make some noise and you go 5-1 in the West Region. There's a lot to be proud of there for Chauncey and the boys.
Yeah, and I mean, and he'll be as disappointed as anyone that the season ends here tonight. But like you said, taking over a program, and it's just kind of baby steps forward. Getting back into the playoffs, and getting that belief in the players that we can play some quality football, and getting kids to believe that buy-in factor, and definitely from the way that the Minot kids are keeping playing here in the game, you can tell that there's the definite buy-in factor. So he got the Minot back to the playoffs this year, and now the next step is winning in the playoffs and getting back to that last game of the year in the Fargo Dome.
Well, you look at what Minot High will bring back next year as well. Your top receiving target in Conklin comes back. Your top back in Ruziska comes back. You have 3 linebackers that are all in a conversation for being probably at least in somebody's conversation for all region players, I'd have to assume. Those top 3 starters on the linebacking spots will come back from Minot High as well. Obviously, with a group of 11 guys on offense and defense, there are going to be some graduates, including their quarterback and Sparrow. There's a interception coming here for Shanley. That ball's going to be taken up the far sidelines. And that pass was intercepted on the far side, and taking the football away for Shanley and running it back was a nice play coming from the safety number 30 on the play, and that's Grayson Geigel. And Geigel was then forced out of bounds as Minot High made a stop defensively, as Geigel would have been off to the races, but a big stop came there from Peyton Stanley from Minot High.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that you're going to see with the backup JV kids, and just kind of the timing not all there on that route, and the ball just kind of throwing up kind of just to a particular spot, and Geigel sitting back there in coverage, and just kind of throws it right into him.
Well, the Shanley fans come alive, and for good reason here. Xander Annis. I do apologize. Thank you, Dame, for the help. Victory formation is on here for Shanley as the teams are about to congratulate each other on a great season. Shanley's going to advance into the semifinals, picking up another win here tonight. That will be win number 8 on the season. They remain unbeaten on their home field here, moving to 6-0 as they go to victory formation again coming up here as time continues to wear off the clock. The final minute now here in regulation. Will they take victory formation again here? Or will they let this play clock wear down? They have to down under 10 seconds here.
Yeah, and really a nice moment there for for the Deacons and the crowd. Number 57, Xander Annis, getting into the ball game there. A nice moment from him, looking a young freshman. I saw him run onto the field earlier, and just stature-wise a lot smaller. So a big thrill for him to get into the game there, and a situation where they're in victory formation, and he's not going to get hurt out there. But a nice moment for him, and the Shanley students recognize that their classmate is out there on the field. So it's kind of what high school sports are all about. And sometimes when you're Minot, you're getting beat by 28 points, you maybe forget things like that. But really a nice, like I said, that's what keeps you coming back to high school sports.
Was a fumble on the play. Minot High ended up recovering it here as Beater's going to go under center again here for the Magi. Will Minot High run a play out here with 25 seconds remaining, or will Minot High just take a knee? And Chauncey Hendershot has Beater take a knee out of respect for Shanley here tonight, and a classy move coming from the Magicians as this one is over here tonight, as the final score is 42-14 as the teams shake hands right at midfield here tonight. Dave and I will come back with our post-game show brought to you by our friends at Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. We'll break this play down coming up, this whole game down with all the scoring plays here tonight when we come back here to Sid-Cichy Stadium here in Fargo, North Dakota. What more can you say about Shanley here tonight? Boy, they were a buzzsaw that Minot High just couldn't contend with here tonight. 42 on the board for the Deacons here in the showdown. Minot High ended up with 14 tonight, just not enough. We'll tell you how Shanley advances into the semifinals after their victory here tonight over the Magi from Minot High. It is North Dakota High School football on the PSP Network. Let's go to our Shots Crossroads and Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show.
Broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Oh, easy. I think I'm good. You got my good side, right? Not too many lights. I don't want to get fried before my time. Oh, it's egg-tastic. You never know what dish you're going to end up in. My dream dish is a 99. It's so popular. Me and a fellow egg tag teaming with some crispy golden hash browns. Have you seen those hash browns? Those guys are shredded. Throw in some diced ham, onions, and melted cheese. Oh, it's a party for your taste buds. Oh, here comes Chevy. Hold on, Chevy. Did you guys get everything that you needed? 99. Here I come. Shots Crossroads. It's an excellent place to eat.
Shanley Deacons celebrate right at midfield after a 42-14 victory tonight on the BNC National Bank scoreboard over Minot High. Shanley with a big win here tonight to advance them into the semifinals of the North Dakota AA playoffs. Nick Holberg and Dave Wilson here to wrap things up in our planning team financial advisors Shots Crossroads postgame show here tonight. Planning Team Financial Advisors is there for you whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Dave, I know you live in Fargo now. You grew up in Minot. How much do you miss Shots Crossroads?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was after all high school hockey games or football games, we'd head there and have a seems like you get there at 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and just a great meal. And I mean, just didn't matter whatever time you got there, you could always order breakfast. That was my favorite thing about the Shots Crossroads. I just it didn't matter. Breakfast for dinner was always what I did at Shots Crossroads.
I love it. They bring you the post game here tonight, home to the famous number 99. You can order online, shotscrossroads.com. Team buses are always welcome at Shots Crossroads, by the way. They bring you the postgame tonight as well after a 42-14 dismantling of the Magi tonight from the Deacons from Shanley. Dave, your overall thoughts on this ball game tonight? Obviously, the better team ended up winning the showdown tonight. The muscle that Shanley had really seemed to be the difference maker here in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about it before the game, just what Shanley was going to do, and they're as advertised. You've got a good senior quarterback, and you've got buy-in from all the kids on the team, and they're so well coached, and schematically on offense. I mean, there's so many different ways that they can go with the football. I mean, just a really nice, complete performance from them. And, we look at the scoreboard and, the number of times they had the ball inside Minot's 20-yard line, too. I mean, they could have scored well into the 50s. I mean, we were talking with the gentleman up here in the press box before the game, and they scored 49 points in the first quarter against Bismarck St. Mary's. So, definitely able to score the ball and score it quick. And we saw it a little bit in the first half and the second half as well. So, I'm anxious to see what the matchup next week that these guys have with Mandan out in Mandan.
Here's what it looks like right now. The playoff picture, see if we can get an updated score from that Mandan game for you. I'll pull it up on the PSP Network right now. By the way, like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. Stay up to date with everything high school sports from across Western North Dakota and the state of North Dakota at the PSP Network. 34-6. Mandan leads West Fargo in the third quarter with 1:52 remaining. So Mandan on their way tonight as well. Cheyenne and Century were playing earlier on tonight. Bismarck Century and Cheyenne. That's a 20-8 ball game. Century's on top with 6:59 left in the fourth quarter. That was a tweet from 59 seconds ago, and Century might have the upset of the year coming up against the defending state champion Cheyenne Mustangs. That would put Century into the semifinals if they could hang on. Everybody in the West region hoping for that here tonight. I don't know if everybody in the East region probably hoping the same thing because Cheyenne's been a buzzsaw this year.
Right, and that would mean that next week Fargo Davies would get to host the game against Bismarck Century. So one more chance to play on their home field. And since the last 25th Street rivalry game happened, there was a lot of murmurs around Fargo here. Boy, would it be great! I mean, Shanley snuck that one out over Davies, and talked about how great it would be to see a matchup between those two schools again. And you know what, we could see it at the Fargo Dome in a couple weeks here with the way that those two teams are playing right now.
Yeah, talk about the rivalry, not only right here on the street that goes north and south, but you go to North Fargo and get up to the Fargo Dome for that one. That would be absolutely nuts, I would have to assume. Legacy and Davies, we just talked about that. Mandan other way over West Fargo, and Shanley officially first team to punch their ticket into the semifinals after the win here tonight. Well, Dave, let's break this one down and talk about how Shanley got the win tonight in an impressive fashion over Minot High. Start with the game reset brought to you by our friends at Prestwich Orthodontics, specializing in braces and Invisalign for all ages. They offer free consultation and financing options to make it easy to take your smile to the next level. Find them online, minotbraces.com. You can get started with a free virtual consultation today. It's minotbraces.com. We also want to thank the UPS store here tonight. Our friends at Roger Ward, Northern Plains Heating and Air, Jersey Mike's, Hub International Insurance, and Planet Pizza, bringing you some sponsorship here tonight as well, including all those other sponsors you see here on the PSP Network. Here's your game reset. Started off with a back-and-forth grudge match here tonight. It took till 3 minutes and 19 seconds remained in the first quarter for Shanley to break the scoreless tie. A 60-yard bomb as Hakeem took it from Rosberg, danced into the end zone. It was 7-0 after the point after. Minute 10 remained in the first quarter. It was Rosberg this time on his own on the quarterback keeper. Just a little move to the left, little move to the right. Dances on in. I'll take 6 more, and it was 14-0 after the point after attempt there. That made it 14-0 into the second half. Hakeem again, this time from 35 yards out from Rosberg at 11:37 remaining. And Shanley went on top 20-0. Point after again. Guess what? It was good. Then with 6:24 remaining in the second quarter or the first half, we could say a forced fumble from DJ Jones as Minot High had Shanley pinned back in their own end zone. And an uncharacteristic fumble coming there from Rosberg. Landon Bedell fell on top of it. Minot High got on the board. It was 21-7 at that point. And then at that point, there was maybe a turning point in the ballgame where Minot High came down on their next possession on defense, forced a 3 and out there again. And Minot High ended up with the football deep inside the Shanley red zone. And a pass that was picked off from Jaden Sparrow and a run that came all the way back down, almost back at Minot High's red zone. The Caden Turnbow stopped. That was kind of a dagger there for the Magi at that point in the ball game because Minot High found themselves at 21-7 at the brink. 9-12 into quarter number 3. It was Kraft from Rosberg from 5 yards out. That made it 28-7. Then with 7:17 remaining, this was really the dagger or the nail in the coffin, if you will. 2 minutes later almost from 5 yards out. It was Crispin from Rosberg to make it 34-7. Then Leininger had a 30-yard run to make it 42-7. And at that point, start the bus chants were on and in full force here at Shanley. But Minot High gets one more on the board from Bachman at 6:51 remaining in the fourth quarter to make it 42-14 as Minot ended up with the 2-point conversion that was the point after, to make it good, to make it 42-14. Overall, your thoughts on the ball game here tonight in that recap?
Yeah, and that kind of played it out as we expected. Minot was going to have to come up with a pretty special effort to get this one done on the road, and that Deacon offense, as advertised, scored a lot of points. Rosberg, as advertised, there's a reason he's got a Division I scholarship waiting for him next year. I'm kind of anxious to follow him on the basketball court too, because I'm told he's a pretty good basketball player as well. Any
guy that could play hockey his whole life and then just switch over to the hardwood, has got to be pretty special. He was pretty special here tonight. When we come back on our Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads postgame show, we'll have our move of the game brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. We'll also have tonight's MVP of the contest brought to you by our friends at Sports Clips, where you can get the MVP haircut experience. Final tonight, 42-14. Shanley all over Minot High. We'll put a cap on the Magi football season. We'll get you geared up for the playoffs, round number 2 and 3. Coming up when we come back as well, including all those honors in tonight's showdown. The Deacons were victorious tonight here on their home field. They looked good with a capital G, probably had a capital OOD on top of it as well.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
42-14, the final score tonight. Shanley on their way into the semifinals after a victory over Minot High here tonight. Welcome back into our Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads postgame show here tonight. Shots Crossroads, home to the famous number 99, where team buses are always welcome. And you're always welcome for breakfast, dinner, or lunch. Or like Dave said, you can have breakfast any time of the day at Shots Crossroads. I recommend having cheese balls, mozzarella sticks, whatever you get at the beginning, your main course. But for dessert, try the banana cream pie. I promise you won't be disappointed. Planning Team Financial Advisors brings you the postgame show tonight as well. Planning Team Financial Advisors, whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, it's Planning Team Financial Advisors bringing you the postgame tonight with Shots Crossroads. After a dominating performance tonight from Fargo Shanley, and a team that now moves even in the all-time matchups against Minot High School at 6 wins and 6 losses. Shanley improves to a record tonight of 8 wins and 2 losses. Minot High is going to close out their season at 5 wins and 4 losses, getting into the quarterfinals here tonight after going 5-1 in the West. It was all EDC teams plus Bismarck Legacy that took down Minot High on the year, but a lot to be proud of for Minot High after a 2-win season last year. You have to really look at the Magi and have a lot to be proud of if you're a part of that Magicians crew. Again, more action tomorrow on the PSP Network. You've got Velva taking on Dickinson Trinity. You've got New Salem Almont taking on Grant County Flasher tomorrow. Both games at 2 o'clock. Hope you join us for both of those there. Well, Dave, what do you say? Time to look at our player of the game and our Jobbers Moving and Storage move of the game here tonight. I think would be a fair thing to do. First things first, that Jobbers Moving and Storage move of the game tonight. The one that comes to mind for me is the way that Turnbow tracked down that interception and went back after the football and running all the way up the sideline. I mean, usually you don't see one of the tackles that is on the offensive and defensive line have the legs that he had here tonight. Would that do some disservice to some of the big plays we saw from Rosberg here tonight, though, however?
I think Rosberg's probably happy that he gets to play another football game. So I would, that's a play that I'm definitely going to remember as far as effort. And like I said, I hope within the Minot High program, they've got this game on tape, that's something that they can teach kids and show in film in the future as far as not giving up. I mean, because that's a play that sticks with me. And I mean, yeah, maybe doing Rosberg a little bit of disservice, but he'll probably take the win instead. And we'll give the play of the game to Caden Turnbull for his effort on that one to keep lining her out of the end zone.
That's tonight's move of the game, brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you move across town or across the country. Locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. Find them online, jobberswarehouse.com. It's your Jobbers Moving and Storage move of the game. Congratulations to Caden Turnbull, the new commit to Minot State. I didn't know he could run that fast, but he certainly could. And excellent effort on that play. Time for our MVP of the contest here tonight. I don't think there's any question in this one. When you look at the MVP tonight, brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips. They can help you with your hair needs, whether you have a problem with it or if it always looks good. You can stop into Sport Clips in Minot or Bismarck. Check in online with a hairstylist today. They have an MVP haircut experience that certainly is next level. MVP of the game tonight, brought to you by Sport Clips. When you have 5 touchdowns in a ball game tonight, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer that Rosberg's going to be our guy, isn't it?
Right, and I guess if we took the play of the game away from him, I figure we give him the most valuable player. Yeah, no, really an impressive performance from him. I mean, looking at all the touchdowns that he had, I mean, just a senior showing up and playing exactly how you want a senior to play in the playoffs. Playing on his home field for probably the last time in his career. Well, it will be the last time in his career because he's going to Mandan next week. But just that an efficient type of performance. It was always really in control, other than really the fumble. So I think definitely deserving of the most outstanding player tonight.
MVP of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. Congratulations to the Shanley quarterback. Do you see any weakness in his game at all? I mean, I don't see any cracks at all.
No, and I mean maybe the one thing I could maybe say, and like I said, we're being really nitpicky, is that with on the fumble, maybe just being a little bit too overconfident in the pocket at times. But really his athleticism is able to make up for a lot of it. The first touchdown pass of the game he threw, he was hit while making the throw, and he still had the arm strength to get kind of a wounded duck football to Hakeem for the touchdown there on a play that if that's you or I, the ball's rolling 15 yards back because we don't have the fortuity to get the ball down there. So, but yeah, it's really tough to say that there's a negative aspect to his game. Smart kid, good athlete. Does a lot of things the right way in leading his team, and just there's a really good vibe between him and their offensive coaches and what they're doing.
A great way to say that, and I think that I'm telling you, I don't know when we come down the stretch here, Dave, when you look at this AA playoffs one more time and the bracket of where things move. Shanley moves into the semifinals. It looks like Mandan's going to take down West Fargo here tonight. Maybe we can get one more update if possible here, but you look at Shanley, you look at Legacy and Davies in that showdown here tonight. Looks like Legacy was trailing Davies in that ball game, and did Century come out on top? Let's see if we can get one more update if possible, if anything's out there. Nothing quite yet. Shanley's going to be a hard team to beat in the playoffs. That's what the whole point of this conversation was, is that you look at the way that Shanley played tonight with the targets they have. If they can stay healthy for 2 more weeks and into next week, they've got a pretty good shot at being AA champions in North Dakota. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And once you get to the semifinals, you say really it's anyone's game. And I mean, I think now I kind of I was catch myself thinking ahead. Boy, you could have another Davies versus Shanley game. But I mean, a team like Century going in and maybe getting a big win against West Fargo Cheyenne, and you got. You've got a Mandan team playing at their home field with athletes like Jablonski. I mean, it's really wide open. I wouldn't be surprised if any of the 4 remaining, if Century in fact does eke that one out over the number 1 team in the state. I mean, really anyone's ball game.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Join us on PSP Network on social media, on Twitter and on Facebook, and on PSP.network. The actual website will have all the full updates for you tomorrow with the new bracket that will come out after tonight's ball games are complete. Dave, final thoughts tonight. It was a ton of fun doing football with you again here tonight in Fargo.
Yeah, absolutely. I think thanks again for having me. And once again, I've said it before, but just an absolute thrill working with you and all the behind the scene things that you're doing here to get the broadcast going. And you're a busy man now, traveling to Velva tomorrow for that high school game, and at the field that's only a couple blocks away from where my great-grandfather lived in Velva before he passed away, so kind of a special place down in the park there in Velva. So looking forward to following that game tomorrow on the PSP Network.
Yeah, thanks again for joining us here tonight, and I tell you what, Dave, hope you do tune in tomorrow because it could be a good one. Century is on top of Cheyenne. An actual update with 1:07 left. It's Century leading 27-8 over Cheyenne. My goodness, Century. I told you the pregame show tonight, they could be the spoiler. They could be the dark horse. And I think it's fair to say that it's about as dark as it gets when not only do they take down Cheyenne right now, or taking down Cheyenne, but they're dominating 27-8 to that ball game.
And my kids are in the West Fargo School District, and it was orange and blue day today. So my kids were all wearing orange and blue. And when I get home and I wake them up in the morning, I have to let them know that things didn't go quite the way of the Mustang tonight. So great team, but hats off to Bismarck Century, knocking number 1 in the state off on the road.
Don't you love playoff football? What a time. Dave, it was a blast again tonight. Thanks for joining us here on the call from Shanley High School and Sid Cichy Stadium here tonight as the Deacons take care of the Magi 42-14 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. The playoffs are officially in full swing across all levels of North Dakota high school football. They did not disappoint tonight across the board, especially if you're a fan of Shanley. For Mr. Dave Wilson, I'm Nick Holberg signing off for tonight. Long ride home back to the Magic City tonight. I'll be right and ready tomorrow for Velva taking on Trinity tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Join me then for the 1:40 pregame show, or join Todd Domries and Scott Woodmansey for New Salem Almont taking on Grant County Flasher. Whatever you do, make sure to have a great night. Have a good night, and God bless.
easy, easy. I think I'm good. You got my good side, right? Not too many lights. I don't want to get fried before my time. Oh, it's egg-tastic. You never know what dish you're going to end up in. My dream dish is a 99. It's so popular. Me and a fellow egg tag teaming with some crispy golden hash browns. Have you seen those hash browns? Those guys are shredded. Throw in some diced ham, onions, and melted cheese. Oh, it's a party for your taste buds. Oh, here comes Chevy. Hold on, Chevy. Did you guys get everything that you needed? 99. Here I come. Shots Crossroads. It's an excellent place to eat.